mostly nitpicking.
And the simple, true fact is that I am Diggins.
And this is, as DJ Chapman said, mostly nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woohoo!
I shouldn't be here.
Cheering
I don't belong
is not
here.
part of my programming.
But what if it is? Well, don't you have love in your heart, Diggins, to cheer?
Oh no, I am changing completely.
All right, now let's never bring that up again. All right, let's talk about something else. But yeah, the big movie this week. I would say, shockingly, like our most anticipated movie of the year. As of right now, I'm sure there will be other things that come out or get trailers that look bad, but yeah, this is something that I've been very excited for ever since I heard about it.
I feel like this is going to end up on the Mount Rushmore of mostly nitpicking.
I do too. I think that so much that I think we're going to have to build this genre / director his own little Mount Rushmore so it can be fair to the other movies and directors, so that it's not just him, because it's getting a little crowded up in that Mount Rushmore. But yeah, we're talking about Mercy this week. Big new movie of January. Before that, speaking of movies, you guys, today, when we are recording this, is Thursday, the 22nd, which everybody knows, speaking of movies, big movie news of the day. The Masters of the Universe trailer finally came out.
Finally.
Everybody saw it.
I saw it before Mercy.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
nice.
I did.
Had to look on the big screen. Did everything pop? Did his muscles all ripple?
That's right. And the biggest thing that really popped out to me is the he, him pronouns on his little desk thing.
I saw people were mad about that. I'm like, I was confused because I thought that was the bit, but I guess it's not. I don't know. Do you think they just want him to be called man? I think so.
It's man.
Did you see this trailer, DJ?
I didn't. I actually saw Mercy. Well, I should thank you, Nando. The reason we were able to get this pod out a little bit timely, I would say, is because Nando and I actually saw this on a screen unseen. Because I guess
that's right.
I guess if you know the runtime and the rating, it's like this could only possibly be one movie.
Yeah, for anybody that has AMC stubs and uses AMC or A-list or whatever, or has an AMC near them, I would say either check on or subscribe to the AMC. I think it's just AMC A-list subreddit, because they have threads going where they will say it's this genre, it's this long, it's this day, and people just figure it out. And they're almost always right. So this one was really, really easy for the subreddit to get. So I was pretty happy about that. Next one is kind of confusing.
You're telling me when all the information's at someone's fingertips, then they're able to work it all out and solve the mystery, Nando?
Somewhat, except maybe not. Maybe it takes a lot more going on than that. Maybe it takes cooperation from people outside of the information, perhaps.
And while I did not get to see Masters of the Universe on the big screen, I did get a special message from Chris Pratt, as Mercy was the first AMC screen unseen done in IMAX. So
I'm gonna go one better,
huge.
First and last. I don't think we're gonna get more of these. I mean, you know what? Maybe we will. It's interesting. I've only been to a couple of these screen unseens, and it was this one, and then Jurassic World, whenever that came out last year. Because I, again, knew we were doing that for the pod and could figure out. Everybody was like, it might be that, but they're usually A24 movies or movies that are getting a small release that they want to kind of hype up. But it also seems like sometimes now they do them for these bigger movies. So if you know they're coming and I wouldn't count those out anymore. I wouldn't say I wouldn't still not expect something that's a Superman to get it, but something that's a Masters of the Universe, for example. I would not be surprised if that ends up on screen unseen.
He-Man.
Yeah, that I think is very likely to when June or whatever it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But DJ, you've heard of this movie, right? Masters of the Universe. We talked about it once or twice.
We talked about it on Prediction Pod.
Yeah, it's got everybody's favorite guys, Nicholas Scalazzini or whatever, who plays Prince Adam. He's the one from Red, White, and Royal Blue, who's gay Prince Harry, right, or something. That one, I had to look that up a little bit. I might watch it just to see if it's any good. And it's got Idris Elba. It's got the girl from Riverdale, one of them.
Which one?
And it's got, I
Camilla Mendes or Lily Reinhardt?
Camilla Mendes, but I cannot remember the Betty and Veronica. I always get the names confused. I believe that is Veronica, right?
Camilla Mendes is Veronica.
Yeah, so it's Camilla Mendes is playing Tila, and then we also saw a tiny bit of Alison Brie as Evelyn, which is one that I think will be a fun role. But DJ, you'll never believe what we didn't see or what we didn't experience in this trailer.
What didn't we experience?
While we saw him, Skeletor has yet to speak. I think maybe they're hedging their bets, and like maybe they're like, let's see if he does something crazy in the next couple months, and we can get Tignataro in this thing or something. Like, I don't want to get people attached to that voice, because if there's ever been an actor, it's been easy to swap out of something. It's this. Because
I was getting serious Hatbox Ghost vibes from Skeletor in this one.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, it's so not a performance that is like from the actor that it's like, why did you even bother making everyone hate it by hiring him?
I genuinely cannot figure it out. Maybe he financed it, you know?
Maybe.
That could be it. Fetch is gonna run out of money with these, but maybe this is his last one. I mean, he doesn't come across as an enormous He-Man fan either, that has like campaigned for this his whole life, you know? I feel like there's probably some actors in Hollywood that are that, but like, yeah, it just doesn't strike me as an enormous He-Man fan. But yeah, we did see that, and then that was great. But there was also today other stuff, like the Invincible trailer was today, you guys. I don't really have anything to say about that, but that show comes out pretty soon.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm very into Invincible, but I think we know, if you know the story of Invincible and you know which characters are getting introduced this season, like there's not too many surprises here. Okay. But we did hear another character speak in that, which was fun. So that'll be cool. That we hadn't heard speak before. But also they did Oscars. They didn't do them. Who was it? It was Sentry, and was it Danielle Brooks was the other one? There were two people that read all the names.
Yeah, it was
of
Lewis
the Oscar.
Pullman and Danielle Brooks. Yes.
Yeah. So those two actors, who, you know, huge stars. Did you think it was awkward for them if they were like, "What if Thunderbolts gets all of these awards? I'm gonna have to announce it. That'll be pretty awkward for me."
Yeah, I was feeling.
Lewis Pullman was like the testament of Ann Lee sweep that's coming. You know, we gotta.
I know. I mean, Danielle Brooks, the Minecraft movie, probably very on her toes at every point, because that's true. Movie was so successful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, testament of Ann Lee. So okay, we saw the awards, the nominations. What did you guys think of the list that we got? So not talking about like snubs, but like who was there? How'd you feel about it?
I mean, I think there's only one Best Picture nominee where I'm like, that's wrong.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah. Well, sure. Yeah. Which
Diggins,
one is it?
Tell us why you don't like Train Dreams. I want to know what your problem with that movie is.
I haven't seen it yet, so maybe I will feel that way about Train Dreams. Maybe I'll watch it and be like, this is garbage.
I hear it's the most Oscar-y of the Oscar movies this year.
I believe it from the trailer. I watched all the trailers and I believe that. But
yeah. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I've heard it's pretty good too. So, but yeah, which one do you mean, Diggins? Begonia? Pretty surprised to see that up there this time.
Well, you know, I don't personally feel like it's Yorgos Lanthimos' best, but it's still a very good movie.
Oh, okay. So not Begonia, not Train Dreams, not Sinners.
Secret Agent. You just don't like the Brazilians? Is that a problem that you have?
That's right.
Well, you know, I was pretty impressed by the Brazilian movie from last year's Oscars. So I haven't seen it yet, but I'm willing to give this one a chance.
Okay.
What was the Brazilian movie from last year's Oscars?
What was the name of it? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. It's about I think it was the one I didn't watch. Ran out of time, you know. Sometimes you run out of time.
Yeah.
So
wasn't Hamnet?
Yeah.
Probably
Probably not Marty Supreme. Everyone likes that.
I was really
Marty
impressed.
Supreme.
I was very impressed by Marty Supreme.
What?
So I feel like that's all of them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any
Which
others.
one do you hate, Diggins?
Well,
F. Frankenstein. He's
Oh,
really
F.
mad about F.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm. I forgot about that.
The guy's too big.
He's too sexy and too big and too handsome. Make him uglier.
Yeah, Frankenstein's monster's not allowed to be so hot.
Yeah. Unfair to us Frankenstein-esque men out there. Am I right, fellas?
Yes, there's one trait in particular you share with Frankenstein. Isn't that right, Nando?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it yet. So I'm just going to assume bolts in my neck and big old shoes.
I was going to talk about how he's very tall.
Yeah, that's true. That's part of me was like, is he made of a short guy or something? Like, is that why they find a guy who's like, yes, he hung himself because he was just so short. So we're going to try to reanimate him, but with real people legs. And then look at what happens. Monster. He turns into a monster. Or are we the monster? Society is the monster. Anyway, yeah, Frankenstein. I'm going to check it out one of these days. But yeah, that's all of them, right, Diggins? Unless there's another one.
Well, there is one more because I believe they nominated 10. So there's a little movie on there called F1, I think.
Oh, F1.
F1, like
weird way to say Cars 3, but yeah.
Keyboard? Like on my, I see F1 right there next to F2 and Escape.
Yeah, Function 1, I think it is. I think is the full name. Which I guess is this movie about where Brad Pitt tries to like fix his keyboard, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And dads love cleaning keyboards, like Power Wash Simulator, all that shit. So
That's
this is
right,
really
that's
going to
right.
appeal to them.
Get some
That explains why my dad saw it twice in the theaters, I think.
Did he really?
I definitely saw it once. I do think he might have. And like, he wouldn't be the only I know some non-dads that saw it twice in the theaters and went to the IMAX in New York to see it specifically. So he's not alone.
I understand it was told that this was the dad movie, even though it missed me. I didn't see it. I will see it, and
well, you're not quite. I mean, obviously you're a dad, DJ.
Right? But
you're not a capital D dad.
Yeah, you're a father, not a dad.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
you're a father now.
Your father, though. That was fun. They're never gonna make that third one or that next one.
So Dickens, what's your contention with F1 movie about cleaning a keyboard?
Well, you see, I think you guys have already touched on it. It's a dad movie. And you see, what you didn't realize, though, is that last year, there wasn't any big World War II movies.
There was that one with Jonathan Majors that didn't pan out, I think. Remember that? It was like Jonathan Majors and like, was it fucking the guy who Glenn Powell, I think, was in like some movie about Glenn
Powell did a movie with Jonathan Majors.
I think they were like pilots or something. I'm gonna be way off on this, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think that movie came out and then just kind of crashed and burned. But anyway, yeah. No
so
World War II movies.
There weren't any big World War II movies, so all the dad energy from the Oscars voters, it was looking for a place to go, and it just happened to coalesce around F1.
You know, what can we say about F1? I mean, Diggins, you've seen it, right? Did you get out to that one yet? I'm imagining the answer to that is no, right, Diggins?
Yeah, because he's not a dad, so he's no reason to go see it. So, of course, he would see it. What about you, Nando? Did you say okay?
Hell no. Brad Pitt has been dead to me for a while, and I don't know why we keep letting him make movies. But also, I don't really like F1. I don't think it's that interesting. I don't know.
Like the sport, Formula One.
Yeah, it's not my thing. I like racing. Obviously, I love Speed Racer, but just racing around the track really fast and you have to do it a million times. I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me.
No. F1 is one of the 3 Best Picture nominees I have not yet seen.
Okay.
So okay, so you hate Brad Pitt. Is it
hate Brad Pitt?
Maybe is it because it's a sports movie? I know it's barely a sports movie, but it is a sports movie.
I mean, I like a good sports movie. You know, I'm very excited for GOAT in a couple weeks.
Can't wait for GOAT. It's probably gonna, be awesome.
Like I said, Speed Racer, and I like I enjoyed because I haven't seen I didn't see Ford vs Ferrari, which was the other one of these from not too long ago, but I did see Rush. I liked Rush fine. I think there's something though about F1 racing that feels too polished and shiny and stuff to be like the kind of gritty sports drama I would want. I don't know. But you watched the show, right? The like Netflix show where everybody actually did F1.
And I watch F1.
You watch F1?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
what would you say is the appeal of it?
In terms of racing, I do think it is like the apex of like racing sports, right? The cars are going like the fastest, except for like drag racing where they're just going in a straight line, right? But that's like, barely.
Right.
That's like barely a thing.
And they have to lip sync and like do costume challenges.
Yeah. All baked in. That's what I love. I think the like drama, maybe this is true in like NASCAR and IndyCar, but like I think the drama between like the teams is like very compelling. I guess it's a lot of like storied stuff, right? It's like, oh, Ferrari, this is Ferrari's 12th year in a row of like sucking ass, and it's like they probably gotta fire the Ferrari guy. And like,
wait, excuse me, they suck ass in this movie or in this show?
Well, DJ does sound like he keeps up with all the hot we call RPFF.
Oh, is that the Yuri or the Yowie or one of them?
It is.
I think it's
similar.
One of them.
It's quite similar, Nando. The RPFF is what we call the real person fan fiction.
Yeah.
Or it might just be RPF. So I imagine DJ keeps up to date on his AO3 account, checking all the hot new fics about how the F1 drivers kiss.
Obviously, nothing more than I want for Baby Lando and who's another racer I can name? Lewis Hamilton. I just want him to smooch. Oh, you don't know Baby Lando? He's great.
That's not a person's name.
Is it like Baby Yoda? Does he look like Lando Calrissian? Like.
So his racer named Lando Norris, but like he started driving like when he was like really young, because like I guess if you come from all these people are rich is like the one unifier
the gamer from the movie we saw.
That's right. That movie was good.
And because he like started so young and he has kind of like a baby face, they call him Baby Lando.
Now I'm looking at a picture of him now. I can see it. Doesn't look like a Lando to me though, considering I only know one Lando, and he's Billy T. Williams. Like, this guy doesn't quite have the Billy T. Williams energy, but maybe he's
this guy's only 26. Like he
takes some time. So then why didn't you see F1, DJ? Just time? Because it was out in the summer this year, right?
Yeah, I guess it just didn't happen. Just didn't come to fruition. So it's my fault. But yeah, I'm sure there's a reason why it's like, NASCAR is like just like Formula One with the drama between the teams, but like they're just like so apparent. Maybe I don't know. They keep all the radio comms open. It's so apparent that some of them like just like hate each other. And again, someone can tell me this is all true for NASCAR and stock car, but like I like that the different cities and tracks are complicated and the pageantry, and I just like it a lot. Also, it's a European product, and maybe European products are looking just a little bit better than American products. Maybe
they're looking a lot more expensive because of certain things that have been slapped on them.
That's true.
Buy European is what I say. Buy European.
What was I going to say? Have you ever been to an F1 event?
No, they're insanely expensive. And there's
that's what I've heard.
There's only 2 or 3 in the US. There's one down in Miami, there's one in Austin, and there's one in Vegas.
I also feel like there's no sport that's worse to watch in person than racing.
That's what you would think, but because this sport lasts for so long, people like camp out and kind of turn it into a day, from what I've heard. So it seems interesting compared to all the other. And like, I guess other racing events are like this, but this one goes on for so long sometimes.
Okay, if your contention is it's a good excuse to go out and do other things, then like I'm sure that's fine. Contend that that's still a very bad experience of watching the sport.
That's fair. Yeah, it's tough to watch races in general. I don't understand. Like, what do? Do you watch one camera that's doing the racing, or do you just wait until they come by you and then go, that was that guy, he's in first place
he's just
now.
like from by, like, boom.
Yeah,
Wow,
but they're
that
going
was
so
crazy.
fast that they're by you for like a second.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. You're like watching, hoping that you see a crash somewhat in the vicinity in person. But like,
yeah.
Diggins, to your point, like, and this isn't true for NASCAR. Like in you see a NASCAR race, you could see the whole track. You could see everything going on. Like in Formula One, you see a portion of it.
Right.
Like you're not even seeing everything that's going on, right? You're probably getting more updates from like your phone and stuff like that, right? So, yeah, I actually don't know what the appeal is. I
mean, sport you can watch being on your phone is very appealing to certain demographics these days.
Because of all the dang millennials.
Yeah.
The Zoomers now. We're off the hook, Diggins. Didn't you hear? It's not our fault anymore. It's the
never
Zoomers.
been our fault. We never did anything wrong. Everybody wronged us, and we killed all their industries, and then we kind of just hung out.
We're no longer the guilty party, I guess. It's not the millenniums, it's the Zoomers.
Because we're not the young kids anymore, so we're not being blamed for everything.
Yeah.
No cap Diggins. That's true. You guys for sure. Maybe not me.
I was on a work call with I'm gonna assume a 20-something, and like he what did he say? Oh, he went, "Oh, bet." I'm like, "There's no way you just said that." Like in my head,
What did he
I'm
say?
like, "Bet."
Oh, bet I don't think is that crazy.
Really? He was like, "Bet," which is what I'm doing on my DraftKings account right now.
I guess it's like bet to me feels like word, where it's like, and like bet, I can totally see the etymology of like, you bet. Yes, correct. Like,
okay.
It's an affirmative. Whereas with cap, I'm like, what the fuck are they even talking about? Like, what is that? Capture? Like, I just don't know. Yeah, I don't like hearing bet, to be fair. I do think it sounds kind of dumb, but not nearly as much of a problem as some of the other ones for me.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So wait, Diggins, what slot do you think F1 took of the best picture? Like, who should have been there instead?
I mean, I would have put in It Was Just an Accident, personally.
Really? I've heard the other one, No Other Choice, is the one that people are really mad that didn't get like best picture love. Or Anley, to be fair. That one we joked about it, but it did get nothing.
I haven't seen No Other Choice yet, so I can't speak to that personally. That didn't even get Best International though, so that got totally
crazy.
shut out.
And it won TIFF. Like, it's not like it went under the radar. It was a big deal, but I don't know why that didn't happen. I mean, I feel like Sentimental Value is probably kind of poised to win that category no matter what, but in a world where I don't know,
it's either that or Secret Agent, because the rule is if an international movie gets nominated for Best Picture, then it wins that category, and both of them were nominated.
Yeah.
Makes it hard to pick this year.
Well, Sentimental Value also has so many nominations for other, like the supporting cast and stuff.
For acting, Well, that is an actor's movie. That is a movie that is about the acting. So I'm not surprised. And the performances are incredible.
And it's a movie about acting, and it's like about, cinema kind of. So it makes them feel important.
In a sense.
And I think Stellan Skarsgård, has he ever gotten an Oscar before?
I
think so.
He's been around for a while. He was like Good Will Hunting back in the day, but I'm, maybe this is going to be one of those where they're like, oh, we should, give it to him because we kind of owe it to him.
This is his first nomination ever.
Wow. Yeah. So he's pretty good. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I like him in Andor and Dune and stuff. I almost like him in those Thor movies. Not really, though.
Almost.
It's kind of bad. Everybody's kind of bad in them sometimes. What snubs besides those do you think were the most interesting in the... Because there were quite a few.
Overall, or just...
just in any category.
I mean... Well, I know some people... obviously very upset about the total lack of Wicked 2 because they foolishly
that's true
put it on their Movies Fantasy League team.
I mean, it getting shut out is nuts. Not like makeup and hairstyling, costume, the song they made for that movie. Like
the 2 songs they made for that movie that were both boring.
I was gonna say the 2 songs they made were bad. So
DJ, what are they called? Do you remember? Diggins, do you remember?
One of them is No Place Like Home.
Yep. And the other one's The Girl in the Bubble.
Right.
But yeah, they both were real stinkers.
I think this is just like never movie Fantasy League going forward. Just never pick a musical sequel. It's not gonna work.
Well, when do they make those?
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna run up against that often.
Never go for the part 2 of a 1-part story.
Yeah,
that comes out the year after the first part.
It's been back-to-back years of this happening.
When was the other one?
Last year was Joker 2.
Okay, but
I guess that's not like I guess that sure.
Okay, the first one you just had to watch Joker 2 to know that wasn't happening.
Yeah, but
I think I think the draft came before it came out.
It was very slightly before it came out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think production design, I'm kind of surprised it didn't win, but besides that,
I think that this is the Oscars saying you can't win awards 2 years in a row for the same movie.
But
this is just the first movie.
What
but
about
you made it 2
20 years ago with like Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings mostly did not win awards until Return of the King.
Yeah, Return of the King swept, but
nominated. The first 2 got nominations.
But I'm saying, it mostly didn't get nominations and awards until the third one.
Yeah. I think you're right. I mean, the mistake was, I don't know if it was a mistake because they got to make a lot of money twice, but it should have been one movie, right?
And also, to be fair, those are they're based on 3 different books. Those are 3 separate stories that all interconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. It does feel like 2 and 3 are kind of one story separated in the middle, whereas I feel like 1 feels like it's a complete movie. It's kind of like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies where that first one really stands alone, and then the other 2 you got to kind of watch together. But I mean, listen, it was bad. We all got tired of all of the people in it. I don't think it helped for makeup and hairstyling that the last 2 faces anybody can remember seeing in that movie were flattened and wrinkleless Jeff Goldblum and the Haybag Man face. Like that, both of those were pretty bad. Yeah, so I'm not surprised. I am surprised. I'm surprised that they did that. But I'm happy for the awards getting it right because that movie stunk. What about you, Diggins? What snubs did you have any interesting feelings about?
I was the one who brought up Wicked 2.
Oh, you were? So. Oh, okay. DJ, what about you?
I think I'm good. I don't know. I'm so bad at these like future projection thingies. I good for Kate Hudson. I think that's good for her.
Oh yeah.
Is Song Sung Blue anything?
I don't know.
But good for her. Too bad for Hugh Jackman.
He'll be all right.
I have a question.
Yeah, I think he'll live.
Is this finally the year Chalamet gets his Oscar? Can the push be strong enough?
I don't know. He has to be really nice for a couple of days and stay off that TikTok.
I think they'll just give Leo another one. They're like, just have another one, Leo.
I mean, that would be wild.
Would it?
I mean, I think Wagner Moura gets it if Timothée Chalamet doesn't, because Wagner Moura got the other Golden Globe, and I think his performance is it's getting a lot of love this week. Mm-hmm. I saw him on some of the talk shows. Okay, so I feel like they're doing it right. Leo, what?
No, sorry. This is about something else. So finish your thought.
Oh yeah, Leo's good in that movie. He's great in one battle after another. But I feel like, I think people would want something different.
Okay.
I was gonna bring up another snub. This is a minor snub, and one I don't honestly have strong feelings about, but it is true. Wake Up Dead Man, the first Knives Out to not get a screenplay nom.
Yeah. And it's the best one. I feel like that part of it is kind of annoying. I thought that maybe would be in it for Best Picture. I didn't think it would like win, but I thought there was a shot it could get, the attention. So yeah, I think that is kind of strange. I feel like I'm pretty happy that Weapons got, like, I think Amy Madigan now could get Best Supporting Actor for Aunt Gladys, which felt like crazy when the movie came out, or like would have felt crazy earlier in the year. Once the movie came out, it was like, oh, that would be fun. And then besides that, I don't know, what was the snub? What was the movie that got snubbed? There were some weird ones. I'm surprised. I mean, what do we think about the casting category?
I mean, this feels, we were talking about this before we recorded. This one feels so hard to nail down because, like, well, you guys make the point, but, for roles that you already have pinned down, is that a feat, or is that just like you were clever about how you were going to put certain people in certain roles? I don't know. It feels kind of squishy.
Yeah. Like, I think there's some times when I get what people see in Sinners with the main kid being like an unknown actor who is very good, or at least good. Like, I don't, he was fine. I remember when people were talking about this a year or 2 years ago, like the Holdovers kid. I remember people were like, that someone should win an award for casting him because he is pretty interesting. But yeah, like, who is that in Hamnet? Is that the little kids? Maybe, I don't know, but it's not Paul Mescal. I'm sure a lot of people thought Paul Mescal should probably be in Hamnet before the movie came out, but
yeah, I don't know. It feels like some. Now, I don't know a lot about casting, so like I don't want to talk about it like I'm very knowledgeable about what goes into casting.
Oh, you're on a podcast, sir. Do it anyway.
It's got the word cast.
You're right. I'm basically an expert.
Yeah.
It feels like for more of the like ensemble or like lesser roles that aren't like filled with stars, or like people that, yeah, like you said, are, like Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, I wouldn't give casting any points for, because like Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan collaborate all the time. He probably wrote that role with Michael B. Jordan in mind.
Yeah.
It was an offer only. Just nothing else.
But then, like, yeah, there are other roles on the margin that like do need to be filled out, and if they are filled out very well, then that does speak well to the casting director. So I don't know. I feel like you're not necessarily looking for like the headline performances on that one. It's more about like around. Like, I would give, say, for like a TV example, I would give Pluribus a casting nomination because so much of that show is in the extras.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that. But I see with Pluribus, or with TV, I would also give like that's one where I feel like I would feel comfortable giving Andor like casting, because nobody in that besides him, I feel like, and I guess you wouldn't give season 2 of Andor, but like the first season feels like they were in mind for that movie. Like I feel like and I guess Genevieve O'Reilly, but like most of them felt like people that they just brought on at some point. So like, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I'd want a movie where at least the lead, one of the 2 or 3 leads, is someone who was cast, like who did not get an offer, who had to go through the casting process. Because I feel like those are out there. Like, gosh, I don't know. What was a movie this year? It was like I don't know. What did Rose Byrne? Like, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. That feels like an interesting pull for that movie. I doubt she was, was written for her.
Right.
I feel like that one you can maybe make the case for. Looking at a list here of like all the movies from this year.
I mean, I feel like
last year.
Is it nominated? I don't think so. But like Sentimental Value has really good casting, not just because all the actors in it are really good, but because like they physically resemble each other, which is important to the plot.
That's a great point.
So like finding actors that look similar and are also, really good actors is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, honestly, part of me would like want to give it to Weapons, but not because of Amy Madigan, but because of everybody who dropped out and then how they filled the roles with people that were kind of better or like, I feel like made the movie good. Also, like they would never do this, but like, I think casting Superman was pretty interesting of a move last year, and casting Lex Luthor. Those were like, pretty big, like seems like generational castings that will last for a while. And those were cast because we heard a lot about like the process. But what about the dog from that movie where the dog is a horror movie? They could have cast that,
Do you think the movie where the monkey is the horror movie was going to get one next year?
I should hope so. I don't know if they had a real monkey on set, but I'm sure there was a monkey involved in the production somewhere.
Probably at least someone looked at a monkey.
I hope so. I haven't seen the movie yet. But yeah, who's hosting the Oscars this year, by the way?
Conan. He's back.
Oh, good. Okay.
Year 2.
Nice.
It's interesting that his movie is in it. Like this doesn't usually happen, right? Like
that the host, well, he's not nominated though. He's not
nominated, but yeah, I feel like, yeah, I don't think I feel like she's gonna have to go up against Jessie Buckley. That's gonna be tough, but it'd be fun if she got to win the award when her co-star was hosting it. Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, yeah, it's the Oscars, they're great. How are they going to fuck this up? That's the last question.
Okay. Besides going too long, which they always do. Like Sinners like doesn't win anything would be like really weird, right? That would be a pretty big fuck up.
Man, for 16 nominations and doesn't win anything, that'd be crazy.
Well, does, and this has been possibly predicted for a little bit, but does a certain someone decide that this movie's too woke, and if you vote for it, you get sent to Guantanamo, right? I'm just saying.
I feel like in Hollywood that would make people vote for it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, I think Sinners. The only thing I think with that is I could see a world where, because of the narrative of, oh my God, it got so many nominees, people that were on the fence about like Sinners or Marty Supreme or Sinners and Hamnet go on the other one. Don't go for Sinners because they're like, everybody's going to vote for that. I want to keep this one high in contention. But that's the nice thing about ranked choice voting, but it's also the thing that kind of makes it all screwy is like, if somebody is able to split the vote with Sinners one battle after another, then somebody else could slither in there. I think Green Book's got a good shot this year. I feel like we should let it ride. Bring it back.
Oh boy,
great call.
Dark Green Book or light Green Book or something. I don't know. Blue Book about cars. Yeah, I'm hopeful that.
That's great.
I think they could mess this up. Like, but what you're saying, I think not getting Sinners anything could be bad. I also am curious how they're going to do the broadcast because, like, I think it's funny how many times they like give an award off screen or something like that. Not Oscars necessarily, but other ones. But now that the Oscars is going to go to YouTube in like 2 years, I wonder if they are going to start futzing with the actual like production to make it more YouTube friendly, whatever that means. But I don't know. We'll see. You think this movie's gonna make it to the Oscars next year? If you had to nominate it for something, what would you nominate it for?
I mean, casting. I think is right
picture,
up there.
Obviously,
Best Picture's flying past Chris Pratt's face.
Mm-hmm. Is there an award for best handling of themes?
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, that's original screenplay. I was convinced, by the way, for the whole time I was watching this movie. I'm like, well, it's stupid, but it's from a book, right, or something? No book. There's nothing this is based on.
It's good that we went out there and supported original movies.
We did, yeah, that's right. So yeah, let's talk about that. We're talking about Mercy.
Oh man,
Mercy Supreme, as we all call it. And speaking of Supreme, Diggins, I believe you won last week. Is that right?
No,
or DJ. One of you two.
I was running it last week. DJ won.
Okay.
Yeah, I won. So
take it
it's
away.
my time, baby. It's time for the IMDb Bees and Spelling Bee, where my two esteemed co-hosts here have to guess the IMDb summary for the movie we're doing, Mercy. And we'll get to it, but Mercy 2026. So we should be very clear. This is 2026 is a Mercy. But everyone must be wondering how does IMDb get these summaries? And it's an astounding tale of heroism and bravery. Because these summaries are etched on ancient stone tablets located at the center of the earth, because these secrets are so great that IMDb decided that when a movie comes out, you're gonna take the summary, but you're gonna go deep into the earth to put them there, because you can't let anyone just find them out. So in order to put them on the website, they get brave adventurers to go, and only the bravest can reveal the tablets, and then they get to be put on imdb.com. So if you really want to know a summary, you have to very badly go and get the summary from imdb.com. And I know this is an answer to the question of like, where does IMDb get them? It's like, well, is it like
that
circular?
was going to be my question.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
like, how do they even know what to put on the tablets?
Do they get them? Do they make them? I think it's like the Bible. I think it's some kind of like divine intervention, something. I think it's just they figure out what to put there.
They a bunch of monks just add whatever they want at the end of it if they think it's interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
Was it 40 days? Was it 40 years? Just play around with it a little bit. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna take this fucking thing seriously. This is there's no way.
Translations and languages, also kind of. But anyway, luckily, someone was brave enough to get us the Mercy tablet. Unfortunately, they did die, however, because they read it and they're like, "This is horrible," and then they just had a massive heart attack, but not before getting IMDb the tablet. So brave soul.
It's a good thing they had to translate it, or else they would have died as soon as they found it.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So I will say this summary's, I don't know, it's pretty straightforward, not too long. I just say give it your best shot.
But it is bad?
Is it a bad summary? I wouldn't say so.
I mean, you literally just said it was so bad that it killed the person.
The movie was so bad.
Oh, the movie was so bad. I thought you meant the summary was so bad.
No, the summary is fine, but they read the summary and then they knew what the movie was, and they're like, I can't. There's some holes in my storytelling, maybe like some other storytelling we're going to talk about. Right. Anyway, and it's the new rule that if you go first, you kind of get an advantage, because if the second person copies you and it's a tie, they win.
Wow. Well, I really fucked up last week by not going first.
Okay, so you're going to go first?
So I am going to go first this time, yeah. And I saw this a couple days ago, so I've had a little bit of time to think about this. And you said it's not too long, right? It's pretty simple. Okay.
It's 2 short sentences, if that helps.
Okay, I like this. So I'm going to say, in a dystopian Los Angeles ravaged by crime, the police create an artificial intelligence based judge called Mercy. I mean, it's not called Mercy, but called a Mercy program. It should be called Mercy. I don't know why it's not.
It should have been. I don't know why it's not.
That's her first name, I guess. Maybe it's Mercy Maddox. I don't know. But and then the second sentence is but Detective Chris Raven finds himself at the center of a Mercy trial for a murder he did not commit, and needs to convince the AI of his innocence, or he will be killed.
Okay,
Diggins, go ahead.
Some similarities to what I was thinking, so I'm going to change it so it's different to either lose or win, because, I'll lose if I make it the same anyway by the new rules.
Well, you would only lose if you copy it and it's correct. If you copy it and it's wrong, it's a tie.
Well, yeah, but then I still don't win then.
Oh, I see. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Detective Chris Raven awakens to find that he has been subjected to the Mercy program, a draconian AI-based trial. End of sentence. He has only 90 minutes to prove he did not kill his wife, or he will be executed.
Okay. How do we do, DJ?
This is awesome. Neither of you got it. It's great. I'm so happy because I'm a sick tiebreaker. Okay. I'm going to read you the summary just so you get it out of the way.
Yeah.
In the near future, a detective stands on trial accused of murdering his wife. He has 90 minutes to prove his innocence to the advanced AI judge he once championed before it determines his fate.
Okay.
So, yeah. Not about him, not about LA, no 90 minutes. So, but this is so good. I'm so glad either of you got it. All right. We are going to play a tiebreaker. The name of the tiebreaker is Mercy or No Mercy. So, I have compiled IMDb summaries, some real, some fake, for movies called Mercy, movies or TV shows. Mercy has been used a lot, and I took exactly Mercy. There's like No Mercy, Time for Mercy. I just did Mercy, and there's actually a lot. So I just
what about Merci, but spelled or pronounced wrong?
I am going to tell you a movie summary, and you're each going to tell me. You just tell me like in real time, because I'll reveal at the end, and it won't matter. I mean, I guess you guys want to copy each other, but I don't think that'll be a productive game. But you'll either say Mercy, or Merci, or like Mercy. Yes, this is a real summary for a movie or TV show called Mercy, or No Mercy, it's fake.
Okay. So to be clear, are these going to be, are the fake ones summaries for other things, or something you made up?
Something I made up.
Okay.
All right.
I'm willing to give it a try.
All right. And whoever has the most points at the end wins. There's 21 of these. So
good lord.
Okay. We'll make it quick.
It should be quick. We're just going back and
forth.
I got it all down. All right.
Fast.
All right. Okay. I guess we'll start. We'll do Nando Diggins, Nando. We'll kind of go back and forth like that.
I feel like we should probably just I don't know, thumbs up, thumbs down, reveal at the same time if we think it is or is not.
That's a good idea.
Thumbs up, Mercy, thumbs down.
And then we can say out loud for the audio.
Yep. Perfect. All right. First one. After a nurse in a remote hospital begins administering experimental pain treatments, patients start recovering at a cost. When one survivor claims the treatment stole years from his life, she must decide how much suffering is worth it. All right.
Okay. I have another question. Oh,
yeah.
wait. You go.
All right. What
was it?
Nando, No Mercy, Diggins, Mercy. It is No Mercy. So
Damn.
One Diggins.
Here's my other question.
Yeah.
Did you write these, or did ChatGPT write these?
I would say I was inspired, but like
Okay.
I tweaked them.
That's fine.
It's not so obvious that it's AI. If that helps you, I
pronounce all the M dashes really.
Yeah.
Well, I was really impressed with you, DJ, and now that has plummeted to 0.
Stop it! Just how dare you?
Wow, sore loser for that first question.
Brainstorming.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Next one. A burnt-out public defender takes on the final case of a death row inmate who insists he committed the crime to spare someone else. As the execution date nears, the lawyer uncovers a truth that could save a life or damn two. Mercy or No Mercy?
Give us a countdown. Just do like a quick 3, 2, 1.
2, 1, go. All right. I have Nando, No Mercy, Diggins, Mercy. It is No Mercy. That's 2 points for Nando.
Incredible.
All right. Next one. A doctor and former military officer finds herself in a deadly battle for survival when the Irish mob takes control of the hospital where she works and her son is taken hostage. All right. Mercy or No Mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. All right. You both say Mercy and you both get it.
Nice.
Ugh.
When did this one come out?
I should have written the years for each of these.
Okay, that's fine.
I could actually, it just takes me like 2 seconds to do because
years and any Any actor we might know.
Yeah, it's like, because I can't even remember any other movies called or shows called Mercy, but like, I'm sure I've heard of one or two of them.
This is going to be as I really should have. All right, what was the Irish Mob one? Oh, this one. Okay, this is 2023's Mercy with Leah Gibson, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Oh, John Voight's in this one.
Yeah. One of our Hollywood ambassadors.
John Voight's in this one. All right. Okay, next up. In a world where water is currency, a lone courier escorts a dying scientist across the wasteland to a rumored oasis known only as Mercy. Every settlement wants the man, some to heal him, others to silence him forever. All right, Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. Nando says mercy. Diggins says no mercy. This is no mercy. Point for Diggins. It is 3-2 Nando.
Nothing starts with in a world anymore.
I mean, that is a good point.
That was all me, by the way, in a world. So I'm not
these
giving
could be old summaries from before when people did say that. You know, maybe.
All right, next one. A single mom and her 2 boys help take care of their grandmother with mystical powers. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Nando, you say mercy. Diggins, you say no mercy. It is Mercy. This is a movie that came out.
Do the kids have mystical powers or do the grandma?
I think the grandma has mystical powers.
Grandma has mystical powers. This is 24.
Well, the sentence is ambiguous.
That's true.
This is
diagram the sentence, DJ. What's the direct object?
This is 2014's Mercy with Dylan McDermott. Is that yeah.
Sure.
So
he's from Stuff.
Yeah. All right. Next up. A headstrong farm boy wants to get back what he loses when he unexpectedly lands in prison, only to discover what's on the outside isn't what he wants at all. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. Nando, no mercy. Diggins, mercy. Point to Diggins. That is a movie.
It's a mercy.
It's a mercy.
That summary felt too authentically bad.
Like that was truly an IMDb one. This was one of the obscure ones. This one was like, that's the thing. Some of them are like documentaries. Like they're like all kinds of stuff.
That makes sense.
I'm like mad I can't find this one. I'll try and get back to you. This might be one of the more obscure ones. All right. Next, so that was...
You just Google the summary, and then it'll probably take you to the page.
Oh, yeah. How many could possibly be about a headstrong farm boy?
How many could possibly have that exact sequence of words?
All right, so this is 2020's Mercy with, holy moly, no one we know. Josh Strait, is that a guy? I don't know. I'm trying to go the ones with pictures. Trevor Aikman, is he related to Troy Aikman? All right, moving on.
Maybe.
Ooh, could be.
So the score is currently Nando 4, Diggins 3. So it's tight. It's better not ending in a tie.
I thought I was getting very worse than this.
I need to get some. All right.
So that was. Space. Sorry, that was. We did mystical powers.
This was headstrong farm boy.
That was farm boy or something, right? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. After her estranged mother's death, a filmmaker returns to her coastal hometown to make a documentary about compassion. Instead, she uncovers a decades-old disappearance tied to a place locals only whisper about: Mercy. Mercy or no mercy? All right, 3, 2, 1, go. You both say no mercy, and you are both correct.
Too much mercy going on there. I feel like it led in too many directions that ended there for it to be that.
All right.
Also, it said it was a documentary and it's a place called Mercy. No way.
Right. Maybe if it was like a building or like a school called, but like, I was like,
all right, weird next one. When 4 estranged brothers return home to say their last goodbye to their dying grandmother, Grace, hidden motivations reveal themselves. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. You both say Mercy, and you are both correct.
Interesting.
It's another one where I felt it was too authentically bad.
Yeah.
6-5 Nando. By the way, I have that one. That's a Netflix Mercy, I believe, if I'm correct, from 2016.
Ooh.
It wasn't clear if it was a TV show or something. Yeah, this is it's rated TVMA, so like it's got to be a TV show.
Gotta be a TV
but it's
show.
90 minutes, so
or
like
TV movie.
Yeah, TV movies sometimes are that.
So that's a Netflix TV movie.
Maybe
get rid of that. All right.
Aren't they all TV movies?
Maybe it's like this was like a Lifetime movie Netflix bought or something, or like.
Well, it probably is that they didn't put it in theaters at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
All right. Next one. A small town's church offers endings to the terminally ill. When a grieving daughter volunteers, she discovers the rituals don't just ease death, they invite something else to take its place. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. You both say no mercy. You both are correct. Man, you guys are getting good.
You got to make this one, though. This movie sounds fun. A church is euthanizing people via the devil or something. Like,
you know what this sounds like a great vehicle for?
What?
Pope's Exorcist 2.
Yeah, that's true. This could be like his Knives Out. Like, he just go from town to town and set them all in little.
Or his the fucking like power. What are the ghost hunter people who keep making
Insidious
movies like
or
Annabelle and shit? Those guys.
Whatever that is, yeah. Conjurings. That's the Conjurings.
Conjuring. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, next one. 2 former lovers reunite at a hospice center where they once volunteered, each carrying guilt over the same tragic night. As patients teach them how to let go, they must decide whether forgiveness means moving on or back together. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Nando, no mercy. Diggins, mercy. It is no mercy. So that's a point for Diggins, increasing his lead.
No, it's a point for me.
Other way around.
So Nando. Sorry, I wrote it correct. I said it wrong. Point for Nando. 2-point lead. Got that correct. Okay, next one.
It's not looking good.
The life of a factory-farmed pig. Mercy's tragic journey as she leaves behind her own family and encounters those whose job it is to end her life. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. You both say mercy. You are both correct. That is a real documentary.
Oh, it's a documentary. Okay.
Yeah, it's about a pig.
I imagined it was like Okja. It sounded like Okja, but Babe, maybe like not a Robo Pig or like
it sounded like a movie funded by PETA or something.
Yeah.
PETA.
Yeah. It's yeah. I couldn't get the year on that, but I think it was like late 20-somethings. Anyway. All right, next one. Detective Catherine Palmer investigates a series of sexually gruesome serial murders and becomes embroiled in a world of lesbianism and bondage after she becomes obsessed with one of the victim's paramours. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. Nando, you say mercy. Diggins, you say mercy. Point to Nando.
Yeah.
Extending his lead.
Too weird. It was too weird.
I'm glad I live in a world where that one's real. We should do that one.
Honestly, this should be Mercy. Yeah, 2016 or 2026. Forget all the debts. Just we're gonna go Mercies every time we got some space. That'll be the new Joey. Mercy.
This is a 2000s Mercy. I don't recognize any of these names. Ellen Barkin's the main one.
Ellen Barkin.
That's a famous person.
Oh, is it? Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So,
she was in like that Ocean's 13 movie. That's what I probably most know her from, but she's in other stuff.
Here we go. Stephen Baldwin. He's in it.
Oh, wow. Is he the main character or is it?
No, he's mechanic.
Very good.
Yeah. So there's that one. That's a fun one. Nando, extending your lead. All right. A young novelist
How many do we have left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, Diggins, you're still in it.
Plenty of room, yeah.
So just need Nando to get a bunch wrong.
All right. Where are we? Okay. A young novelist tries to write about love, but realizes he will still need some real life experience before taking on the subject. Mercy or no mercy. 3, 2, 1, go. Nando, you say mercy. Diggins say no mercy. I am so sorry, Diggins. Nando is right.
I'm just so good at
Very
this.
I'll tell you my strategy when we're done. It's pretty well honed, I think.
It's 2009's Mercy. Scott Caan, Wendy Glenn,
Scott Caan from those
Dylan
Oceans
McDermott
movies.
again. Dylan McDermott
Hey,
in
Dylan
Two
McDermott.
Mercies.
Dylan
Jeez.
McDermott is the guy. That's the one from Secret Invasion, right? And like, he's like the dad in that, and he's in
Pull up
stuff.
his IMDb page and find out.
He's in like
Olympus
New Girl,
Fallen
I
to
think.
Practice. Steel Magnolias.
Really, Secret Invasion not at the top of that list?
I don't see
Call his
Secret
agent.
Invasion
But everyone
anywhere.
loved it.
Oh, okay. So then Dermot Mulroney is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
pretty
sense.
This guy
bad at
seems like one of
keeping
those TV
separate.
actors, like Law and Order, FBI,
Yeah.
American Horror
Lot of-
Stories.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of Law and Order credits here.
Mhm. Good for him. It's solid money.
All right. Next one. A former Special Forces medic is pulled back into combat when a warlord kidnaps refugees she once saved. Forced to choose between surgical precision and brutal force, she wages a one-woman war against enemies who show no fear. Mercy or no mercy. 3, 2, 1, go. Nando, no mercy. Diggins, mercy. Nando is once again correct.
Very
Oh
good.
my god,
Very good.
he's cracked the code.
At what point do we initiate the mercy rule?
Oh, the mercy
Where we-
mercy rule. I didn't even think about that. I mean, you're the one
Let's
with
go
all the
through 'em
numbers.
all. I want to
Yeah.
go through them all.
All right. Next up, 3 nurses deal with patients and personal issues at Mercy Hospital.
Nando's
Nando's,
this is tricky. I
Nando
don't
doesn't
know.
want to mess.
I'll give it a shot.
Nando can't mess up the streak. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. You both say mercy, and you are both correct. It was
Okay.
a procedural medical drama in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, that was
makes
Named
sense.
Mercy. All right.
So the
Okay, next
hospital's
one.
just called Mercy?
Yeah,
Not like
Mercy
Saint
Hospital.
Mercy or okay.
We're like
Yeah.
Sisters of Mercy,
Yeah.
Our Lady of Mercy.
All right. On the eve of Christmas, Shekar is faced with a life-altering predicament of having to pull the plug on his sick mother. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. Nando, you say no mercy. Diggins, you say mercy. Point to Diggins. That is a
Yes.
movie.
That's a dangerous one.
He's back.
Shekar didn't seem like a name they would make up.
I know. I just yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm.
It's like an international film. Oh, 2025's Mercy. But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like foreign film.
This could have been nominated for an Oscar.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Sounds very dramatic.
All right. Next up. A landmark case challenges whether assisted dying is a constitutional right. As protests erupt nationwide, the judge presiding over the case faces a devastating personal diagnosis that could sway the verdict. Mercy or no mercy? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. You both say no mercy. You are both correct.
Okay. Yeah, Diggins is starting to pick up on the
Yeah, I worry the obvious
the
no
strat.
mercies are becoming too obvious, but it's, All right, next one. We only got a few more of these. A woman who survives a near-death experience gains the ability to absorb others' pain by touch. As her power spreads through the city, she must choose who deserves relief and who deserves to suffer. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. You both say no mercy, and you both are correct.
Okay.
All right.
I like that show if it's like that woman just like because she can take pain away, she can give pain, but like she's like, no, you deserve it. You shouldn't have lit those fireworks, sir. Like what she how does she know?
Yeah. She sounds really judgmental, honestly.
Yeah. Very mean of her.
All right. Got 3 more left, which
All right.
does mean, Diggins, it's impossible for you to win, but we'll play it out. So congratulations to Nando for winning the week, I guess.
Thank you.
The quiet life of a small town's inhabitants is shaken up by the arrival of a big oil company, which barges in, taking over houses and local businesses, throwing everyone out to better reach and use the area's natural resources. Mercy or no mercy? 3, 2, 1, go. You both say Mercy. You're both correct.
Okay.
This was a French film.
This one might have been called Merci. Never
This
know.
is from
Could have been. That could be
2019.
Mm.
All right. In a lawless frontier town, a retired gunslinger turned preacher refuses to carry a weapon until a ruthless gang targets the families he's sworn to protect. Mercy may save souls, but bullets still decide justice. Mercy or no mercy.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. You both say mercy. You are both incorrect.
Okay.
No mercy.
Damn.
I got
The
you guys.
description of it was
Ooh.
very interesting.
That one felt good. That one felt good. All right. And this is the last one. A couple of people steal the daughter of a famous lawyer. Now they want money to give her back, but it's not just the money they want. They want revenge. Mercy or no mercy. 3, 2, 1, go. Nando, you say mercy. Diggins, you say mercy. And Nando wins the week, winning 17-12. You both had a great effort.
Did
This
he
was
win
incredible.
that one also?
what?
You said he won the week. You didn't say if he was correct about that one.
Won the week. That is 1995's Mercy with Sam Rockwell.
Oh, hey, your guy.
Yeah.
That's probably why Nando knew, because he's seen it.
Yeah.
And if you look at the poster, I'm just going to post the link to the IMDb so you guys can see the poster. Just a young, strapping Sam Rockwell in this movie poster.
Wow.
I mean, when is Sam Rockwell not strapping?
That's a great
strapping
point.
in this? Is that what you would describe?
I really don't think so.
He's young. He's got a mustache. I feel like strapping would suggest like physically fit in a way
handsome young lad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say, yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's maybe people have different opinions on what strapping, how that works.
Oh. The pull quotes are a tense, taut, breathlessly paced thriller, Hollywood Reporter, and wonderfully wicked from Time Out New York. Those are the pull quotes.
That's pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you for playing Mercy or No Mercy. I hope you two enjoyed. I hope our listeners enjoyed. And this means that, Nando, you can tell us what you thought of 2026's Mercy, starring Chris Pratt.
Although Nando should first tell us what he figured out about the summaries.
Oh, yeah. How'd you crack the code?
So if there was absolutely no reason why it was called Mercy in the summary, definitely a real movie, right? Like if the summary has to justify the word mercy somewhere, probably not real, although some of those were real. But like, yeah, when it was like, whenever it would be like, and a thing and a thing and a thing, will they show mercy? Or like assisted dying or something. They're like, yeah, that would be mercy, versus like, yeah, 5 dogs go on a trip. You're like, that's probably called the real movie, because the ChatGPT would never decide it's that.
Hey, it wasn't all ChatGPT, all right?
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I did stump you guys on a couple ones I felt pretty proud of, especially the Lawless Gunslinger.
Yeah, that one. I do think we should make the one about what was the one? It's like the assisted dying church where the devil helps or something. I think there's a story there.
Here we go.
And we should do the movie about the detective falling into the world of lesbianism and bondage.
Yeah,
that
that's
real
true.
movie. Yeah.
All
right.
Yeah.
Put a pin in those.
Very good.
But yes, Anna, what did you think of 2026's Mercy?
Horrible. One of the worst movies I feel like I've seen in one of these in a while. That is not bad in a production way. Like War of the Worlds, which is going to be compared to a lot, I'm sure, is cheap as hell, and like that is very apparent. They filmed it on their, during COVID. None of them were ever in the same room together. Whatever. This movie is not cheap. It is economical in a way that I think is interesting, but like it feels like a movie, and it's in IMAX 3D for some reason. They're advertising that a lot. People are quite upset that it's taking away Avatar screens, but like this movie, it has a very, I mean, I think the thing that is like in essence, the conceit is clever, kind of trial, half hour, real time, AI. That could be something. And then you have to solve the murder to prove you didn't do the crime. That's kind of fun. Where this movie loses me is they make and I don't want to spoil it because like it kind of spoils certain things about the movie, but I'll just say they make an incredibly unlikable character out of the gate of this main guy in a way that just makes me like kill him anyway. I think we need to get rid of him. But B, every idea this movie touches, it seems to get wrong, or like it has the wrong opinion on. And like some of them I think are opinions that are a little bit trickier, but some of them I think we figured out, most of us, how we feel about certain things. And like this, and it's crazy how many things you would assume a movie like this would have that it does not have. Like how many plot beats you'd be like, and this is where he does this to this and it convinces this to do this instead. But like that, it just doesn't do that. And like, I think the weirdest thing about this movie, much like War of the Worlds, is that it was produced by Amazon. And I'm now starting to wonder if this is some sort of weird Amazon psyop to get us to like trust the surveillance state in a way that's like way more explicit than just like a lot of the people making these movies just have that thought naturally because they're rich, and more of like, hey, Amazon is trying to get us okay with like them installing little cameras in our house. Because like this movie goes out of its way not to have anything to say about surveillance, and I found it bizarre. Performances are all fine. Chris Pratt is fine. Rebecca Ferguson is nothing. All the other people are nothing. Like not nothing. Their performances are nothing. The 3D is weird. It's like all 3D movies where I find myself forgetting I'm watching a 3D movie, which like I don't know what I'm supposed to think when I'm watching one of them. But because it's all screens, it's like weird when you go into a screen to 3D. I don't know. Yeah, I saw it at a not packed screening, but I don't think anybody in my theater had a great time with it either. So I think this is a very January movie. I would not say anybody should rush out and see it. If you have AMC A-list and you want to spend 90 minutes in like a nice, warm seat that is the IMAX fancy seat, you can do worse things with your time
or something.
Yeah, honestly, and like it's not objectionable. Nothing bad happens that's like gross or anything like that. But I will say this will be on Amazon Prime in very, very short time. So like, I think people that are like, I don't think I want to waste my time with that, don't. But when it comes on Amazon Prime, watch it because it's fascinating. And like, I think between this and War of the Worlds, there's like something we as a society can study and learn from these. But yeah, we'll see. Diggins, that was what I thought of it. What did you think of Mercy 2026? Obviously not the lesbian one, which we all love.
Obviously not that one.
Yeah,
obviously that one's
I just watched. I scrubbed through it real quick. It's great. I'm just gonna send you guys over some screenshots. You can, yeah.
Oh no, it's Utopia all over again. Yeah, no, I agree that this movie is fascinating in the ways that it seems it has ideas where it's like, these are hot button issues that we can make a movie about to try to say something about them. And it's like they said that and they're like, cool, let's do it. And then they wrote and filmed the whole movie and they forgot to ever say anything about them.
Yeah.
Like, and it's fascinating because there's like a bunch of points where it feels like it comes so close to getting it, but then it just like uncritically thinks that thing is good or like doesn't think about it or just like is like, yeah, and that's how things are. And like, obviously we'll talk about that more in spoilers, but like it's a psychologically fascinating movie in how revealing it is of the worldview of the people who made it. In terms of a movie, it's bad. It's kind of like, it reminded me a lot of Retribution, that Liam Neeson movie we did a couple years ago. Both in terms of like being very economical, like you said, in its filming, and also it has that problem of like trying to be a mystery, but there's only like 3 named characters, so it's like, I bet it's the 3rd named character who did it, and then they did.
Yeah.
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 Although I will say, after we get to that point, then there's like 3 more twists left in the movie, each dumber than the last.
Yeah, it really goes all out with some of the last 5 minutes of this movie are pretty exciting. In a way that like reading the script would be exciting, but watching it I wouldn't say it quite gets there.
No. And yeah, the main character is a reprehensible person. Like it feels like they kind of knew that, because at the end it's like, yeah, people make mistakes and then we got to try to be better. And I'm like, I don't feel like you have done that thing.
No, I don't think so at all.
I don't feel like anything you've done has anything to do with the reasons you were a bad person.
I think he admitted to some crimes we didn't even know about before during his mercy trial. I hope they had a camera on him or something, because yeah, well, we got to get him
have
into...
a camera on everyone at all times, Nando.
That's true.
Yeah, really bad movie. Really fascinating. Can't wait to talk about it. What about you, DJ?
Yeah, I mean, you guys crushed it. For me, I think the thing that's very apparent about this movie is they clearly had an idea. They're like, all right, what if we have a guy who made an AI judge who kills people, but then he's on trial? They had nowhere to take it from there, because the hoops they have to get, because unless the movie ends with it's like, yep, he did it, and then they kill him.
Yeah, cool.
I not a spoiler, that's not how this movie ends, right?
No, yeah.
Although that might be a better 90 minutes than what we were served. How they have to get to, at least he's not killed in the chair, whether he did it or didn't do it, is batshit insane. It doesn't make any sense. And like the choices by the characters throughout the movie don't make any sense. It's so nonsensical, and yet I'm not about to say I liked it. I did not like it. And also I have concerns because, Nando, unlike your experience, there were people in my movie that were like, that's pretty good.
Wow.
That was a good time. Now, my only logic that gives me hope is because it was a screen unseen. It's very hard for you to justify that you made a bad choice. That like you have to say,
tricked.
I went to this.
Yeah.
I went to see Screen Unseen. Going to Screen Unseen was a good idea I made. It was a good choice. Therefore, this movie was good. Because I cannot justify being like, oh shit, I just wasted 2 hours.
Right. And you can also go home and say, well, at least Chris Pratt told me what I did was nice. So that was helpful.
Yeah.
Recorded a little message just for me.
And it's like, it was in IMAX. It was in 3D. And like the seats where I went to are like the very, very nice seats.
Such nice seats. Yeah.
So good. So that's where I land, is that like everyone is like, these people are all just like, there was one guy in the theater who was definitely on my level. Like he knew it sucked, and he knew it sucked 30 minutes in, and was letting everyone, he wasn't like making outbursts. He was just like laughing at all the insane stuff that like is funny, but the movie didn't want you to think it was funny. So what a and I hope you guys, I hope I don't get any backlash for saying this, but this movie was dog shit.
Oh.
So I'm giving it.
But DJ, it was a tight
DJ
90.
dog shit.
That's true. It was the tightest 90. You could always look at the screen and figure out how much 90 was left.
It was a tight 90. Telling you, listen. Perhaps for one thing, that clock was incredibly accurate. They weren't jumping. I was like, oh, it's 90 minutes now. It's 40. Like, really, really jumping through it. So
I mean, like, yeah, I feel like that's something that like ads do sometimes on like YouTube. They'll put the timer on or like a progress bar underneath, so you're like, it's not that long or whatever, I'll sit through it. I think that's what they should. This is that in a movie. They're like, you're like, if this is 2 hours, I'm leaving, and it's like, don't worry, it's as short as it possibly can be by law, and it is.
I have to convince Disruptor, when watching Disney Plus, like we have to count down the ad timer together, because so he knows that like I'm not in control, because the amount of times he's just like, Dad, put Aladdin back on. I'm like, this isn't me, Disruptor, I'm sorry. Count down to 10 from 10 with me, and that's how we knuckle through the ads on Disney Plus.
That's interesting, because
it is a thing I've witnessed with my nieces and nephew, that kids don't understand the concept of commercials anymore.
Yeah.
No, they really don't.
How do they know what to buy?
Well, and this is the other problem. all the Disney Plus. This might be, I don't know if it's dystopian or what it is, but like it's the commercials are not for like Cabbage Patch Kids. It's for fucking Progressive Insurance. So every time now he's making like, if you're watching the Don't Become Your Parents ad, there's like the guy in the coffee shop's like, oh, this is for Jan for January. And then Disruptor's repeating like Jan for January. Like he thinks it's funny. And I'm like, you're not buying Progressive Insurance. What does this serve? So I got a whole thing.
Maybe if you got your phone, you look at the history, you'd find somebody is buying a lot of Progressive Insurance.
Oh, that explains a lot.
People's boats in other like states are getting insured.
Turns out Disruptor really responds to Flo.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's gonna. Oh, he better not start asking me questions if that becomes some kind of awakening. I'm not ready to field those. Where was I? Anyway, yeah.
I can field them for him. She's a goddess. You're correct to have questions about Flo. There's something about it. None of us understand it, but we all just go with it. I don't know what to tell you, Disruptor.
There's a concept called raw animal magnetism.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, where were we?
You were saying that the commercials, the timer, the tight 90.
How can it be a tight 90? Yeah. That's the only thing that is going for it.
Yeah, bizarre that it was that. Although I would be confused, or convinced that they did fuck with the timing in this a little bit. I wasn't always watching the clock.
They probably did, but
it probably is, yeah.
And also there's some post tight 90, stuff that
right,
so that takes some time too. So they couldn't even get that right. Really, really let me down.
I know it's 100 minutes long. Ugh.
Yeah,
like disgusting.
And what happens in those 100 minutes? Only Diggins can tell us, because Diggins lost the IMDb summary. Let me see
That's true.
How mercy can I get these clocks?
Is there any like execution ones?
I mean, there
gets
should
the
be.
chair.
Mercy should like get one. Like they should sponsor one. Because it's so perfect for what they do.
Stopwatch-timers.com or whatever.
That's right.
It's just Chris Pratt in the chair counting down to his death.
Mm-hmm.
He has 50 minutes to convince you to stop the timer and let him out of the chair.
Yeah.
My name is Chris Raven.
Succeed.
I'm the creator of the timer program. Let me out.
Oh my gosh. Imagine what an irony. So I cannot find one that is that. So we're getting Thanksgiving corn timer.
Well, that is the next best thing.
I mean, Chris Pratt's a nice corn-fed, man. He's as American as apple pie. So yeah, I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna get it ready. And where is it? Oh, here we go. All right. So you guys can see the corn timer right here. So Diggins, I'm gonna press set, and then that'll make it start. You can see the rain and stuff, and then I'll press start. Once you start your summary.
Okay, so yeah, like we said, Mercy's whole movie about, Chris Pratt is arrested. He gets sent to prison for this whole Mercy program thing. And, speaking of going to a prison, actually, that kind of reminds me.
That's true.
Kind of reminds me of an episode of Joey I watched recently. You guys know Joey?
I'm familiar with Joey.
The Friends spinoff. Yeah, Joey Tribbiani.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
I happened to watch Joey and the Holding Hands the other day.
What?
Did you guys see that
can't be what it's called. That's such a stupid title for these.
Well, I'm sorry, Nando, but it's true. That's what it's called.
Oh, no. Wow, I actually have seen that one as well. But I mean, for the listeners, just because people love it when we
let the
talk
listeners
about this.
know. Let them know, because they didn't see it.
Oh my God!
Important for them.
Yeah, DJ. Boy, you better hope you win next week.
It's a big one.
I might have to do some catching up with Joey. I feel so behind; it's making me sad.
What do you mean behind? We're just watching it on our own pace, and it happens to be this. So
I feel
because this happens to be the second to last episode of Joey ever.
It makes sense because so little is happening. And we've totally dropped all of the plots related to the movies.
Yeah, the movie just came out, it was good, and now it's done. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the episode of Joey, at the end of the last episode, Joey and Alex finally got together for real.
Wow.
And apparently they've been doing it daily, nightly, and ever so rightly ever since then.
Baby.
Never
as
too
Joey
rightly.
details to his sister.
Obviously. I mean, and she does the obvious thing, or like she does the obvious Joey-esque thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to insert herself into that relationship a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
See if she can get some of that strange as well.
Yeah, so they talk about how he and Alex have been having sex all the time, but Joey's like, but Gina's like, you should have more than just sex in your relationship, you know? You should have like an emotional connection. But then she also wants to have sex with Alex, and Joey makes an insane statement where we find out that apparently their parents sent Gina to a conversion camp.
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
it didn't
God.
take or something. I can't remember what the line was, but
It's like she's like hating on Alex, and Joey is like, I thought mom and dad sent you to a camp to fix this.
mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
2006, baby.
2006,
Yeah.
right?
Crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, Joey just start thinking like, maybe I should have more of an emotional connection with Alex. Meanwhile, Michael has been chatting online with a lady
God.
whose username is Sexy Steve, and some numbers, I
Yeah.
forget what they are.
69.
Probably something like that.
It's
Yeah, I don't
I think
remember.
it is in the 60s, but I don't think it's 69.
Oh. It's 6'7", we know.
It is. Is that
It's
what it is?
6'7".
Diggins?
It must be
Yeah,
6'7".
more or less.
That must
Yeah.
be it. They predicted it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and he's like, she wants me to do weird things like dress up like a cowboy and dance in my room and stuff. And her name is Steve, and Joey's like, that's a man, and Michael's like, no. And it's basically the whole plot line till the end of the episode.
Well, and he hasn't seen this Steve yet.
Right.
Like, there's no.
There's been no pictures or video chat or anything.
And TJ, as someone who maybe hasn't seen this episode, how do you think this plot line's going to resolve? Where do you think we end with this?
Oh god, does Michael become his best friends with him, right?
Not quite.
No.
No.
Does it go the other way?
Well, we'll get to it then. I just
Okay.
wanted to see if you were able to like kind of
Because Michael, I
chart
will
this one
say,
out in
in
advance.
this early scene, Michael's like, no way, and doesn't believe Joey.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Steve can be a girl's name.
Mhm.
Steve Enix is the girl.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
So full
that's true.
denial.
Mhm.
Is it actually a hot girl? No. Is it?
Mm.
Oh, DJ, maybe we'll find
Perhaps.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we'll find out.
okay. All right.
But anyway, in the main plot lines, Joey apparently has a whole Jimmy routine that he does with Michael.
Yeah.
When he puts on Jimmy's coat and like makes
It's
fun
pretty
of
good.
him. It's pretty good. Honestly, it's a pretty good impression.
Everybody's taking shots at Jimmy this episode, and I'm like, those are great shots. Someone describes him as having a 26-inch waist, and I was like, hell yeah, he's so skinny.
And to be fair, whenever Jimmy hears one of them, he's just like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's good sport about it.
But anyway, they find a ring in his pocket, an engagement ring, a thing he explicitly told Joey he was going to buy last episode, so I don't know why he's so surprised.
Yep.
And they're like, oh man, this is crazy. We better keep it a secret from Gina. And then they start making fun of Gina, but she walks in and is right behind them. So now she knows that he bought the ring. So he comes out and he's like, I guess I got to propose to you now. And she's like, so you want to propose to me? And he's like, yeah, you make me the happiest I've ever been in my life. And it actually is like this where they're like yelling at each other, but saying nice things. And I honestly kind of liked it. I thought it was funny.
No, that was cute.
So yeah, he proposes.
I was just gonna say, when this plotline started and she found him with the ring, I was like, oh, we've done this like 8 other times in the show. But is Joey gonna have to pretend that he wants to propose to Alex and that's the ring he bought her? Because that's just what a Joey episode tends to be. So I was honestly kind of surprised when they didn't do that.
That's fair. That's fair. But instead, where this plotline goes is that Gina sells the engagement ring to buy a car.
Yep.
And
What?
Jimmy is understandably upset about it.
Yeah. I mean, she likes the car, and I can't drive an engagement ring, so I can't disagree.
It's true.
But
so they start arguing, and then they're like, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't get married." And Joey's like, "No, you just need mediation. Let me go get the janitor from Scrubs. He'll help."
yeah.
So Joey goes and gets the janitor from Scrubs, who in this universe is a Catholic priest.
That's right.
Okay.
And Joey knows him from where?
Well, when he had to play a priest on Law and Order, I think it is.
Yeah,
he shadowed this priest to like learn his mannerisms, but all he learned to do was be an incredibly stereotypical Irish priest. And like the guy is of Irish heritage. He's like Father O'Neill, but he's just like he was born in Encino. He's just American.
Yeah.
And I did like the joke that comes from this, where eventually Neil Flynn, janitor from Scrubs, is like, "Hey, can you make me the pizza pie? I want a little pasta fagioli." He's like, "How does that feel?"
That's good. It's good.
And Joey said,
"Just wait."
And then Joey says, "I mean, not great. I have friends who are Asian."
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, good joke. Good joke.
Good joke. Good joke.
Not racist. In fact, so unracist. Joey is the one person that actually doesn't see or hear color. He just doesn't
He's
get
that
it.
woke. He's so woke, guys.
He's so woke.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Gina getting married, what's the other gag that kind of happens in this episode related to that, which I also kind of loved?
Which one do you mean? I'm not sure.
The Howard bit.
Oh, yeah. Howard comes in right after the proposal and is like, "Gina, I've wanted to ask you out for 2 years, and I've finally worked up the courage."
Oh, Howard. That's a classic
and
Howard.
Like, that's a setback when she shows him the ring.
Yeah. It maybe happens first with Alex when he finds out that she's dating Joey. I can't remember.
It happens first with Gina, then with Alex.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's pretty cute.
Mm-hmm. But so... it comes out because Father O'Neill has them write down secrets. And again, a joke I kind of liked, because Gina's is she dated 50 Cent, but then Jimmy's is Father O'Neill goes like, "You're freaking married?" And then he flips the paper around and it says, "I'm freaking married."
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And it turns out, Jimmy married a rich woman who was in jail for money. But he does go visit her every month and hold her hand, which is nice of him.
Why doesn't he have the money, Diggins? Do you remember where it went?
Well, she lost it all in like bad investments and also his failed bid to win America's Cup.
Yeah, he was going for the America's Cup. Stevens represent. We got it.
For those who don't know, in the college we all went to, that was the name of our cafe for some reason.
Well, they have boats. It was like they ran the American Cup, the America's Cup out of that, I think, or something, when it started.
I see.
It's kind of an engineering-y little, endeavor of like building a ship that can sail really well or whatever.
I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they have to go to there and get a divorce. He has to get her to sign divorce papers. Meanwhile, Joey tries to get Alex to do things that aren't sex, and she's like, "No, let's just have sex."
Yeah.
And it's...
I was just going to say, this one also had a pretty funny joke, which is because we're talking about the things that because he got an idea from them of what he should do.
Right.
What they had a tender moment of. Yeah. But then the other thing that he does in this scene, I think, is very funny. I don't remember exactly what it is, but
the other idea he got from Gina of things that she and Jimmy do together is he just screams an insult in her face.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Anyway, they go to the prison. Gina thinks someone else is Jimmy's wife at first and starts yelling at her, but then it turns out they went to high school together and they start chatting.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Jimmy and Joey go over to Julia Sweeney from SNL. from
Is
the
that
It's
who
Pat
that
movie.
was? Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And she's his wife. And she's like, "Oh, it's so good to see you. Let's hold hands." And he's like, "Yeah, I want a divorce." um,
Boom.
and she's upset, and she's like, "No, I'm not gonna do it." And Jimmy just flies off the handle immediately, and then walks away. But Joey talks to her, and he's like, "Hey, I know it's upsetting, but like, he says some like actually like wise things, like, you had the time you had together and that'll always be special, but like Jimmy wants to move on with his life, and like what do you really gain by preventing him from doing that?" And she's like, "You're right." But then he's like, "And besides, how much did he really give you?" And he's like, being in prison, having someone to come hold your hand and just like imagine a life together with you, that was really nice. And he's like, "Oh, I guess I do want that." Oh, the studio audience goes, "Aw."
Yeah, they like this bit.
So anyway, Joey goes back home, and he says that to Alex, basically like, "I want to have an emotional connection." And they hold hands and daydream about being in Paris together, and it's really sweet. But then they want to do the hot, sexy part of their fantasies. That's right. Joey goes to make some sandwiches.
Yeah. What kind of sandwich do you want? It's pretty funny.
And then
we got one loose end, Diggins. What's the loose end?
The post-credits scene, basically. There's a knock at the door. Joey goes to answer it. I guess I should say Michael was supposed to go to Vegas to meet Steve.
Right.
Where she and her friend Tony were going to double team him.
Mm-hmm.
But
blindfold him.
And blindfold him.
Like tie him to the bed so he wouldn't even be able to look at him.
Mm-hmm. And Joey finally manages to convince Michael that Steve is not a woman by asking if she likes Oprah.
Right.
And she says no. Because it was the mid-2000s.
Yep.
Anyway, so the post-credits is a knock at the door, and there's a sexy lady out front. And Joey's like, "I'm sorry, I'm in a relationship right now, but here's a pamphlet."
That was so funny.
You can't date me. And she's like, "No, I'm here for Michael. He never showed up to Vegas." And you're like, "What?
What?
Steve is a sexy lady?"
No way.
So Michael comes up and he's like, "I'm sorry. My uncle convinced me of some wrong things, but he's a silly goose." So they go off together to get a drink. And then we stay on Joey. He goes to sit down, starts reading the newspaper. Is like, "Well, I guess everything worked out." And he's happy for Michael. And it's like a solid 15 seconds of just Joey sitting in the chair.
Suspiciously long. Yep.
And then Michael comes back in and is like, "Yeah, it's a dude." And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wild.
Nice.
But
not out of the ordinary in 2006. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. But.
So, yeah, I mean, Nando, what did you think of this episode? Since apparently we can't ask DJ.
I loved it. I think this is the funniest episode of the show. I'm glad they're finally hitting their stride with one episode to go. But the bit where he yells at her and is like, "Oh, sorry, that's just what they do." Funny. Making fun of Jimmy, funny. Joey also trying to get in on the couples therapy and writing down his greatest secret was funny. I can't remember what it was, but I remember liking it.
I've never been to Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
and then later, Jimmy's like, "Why are you so obsessed with Pennsylvania? You want to run up the stairs, do the whole Rocky thing?" And Joey's like, "Wait, that's Pennsylvania. I've been there."
Yeah. So that was fun. The Irish guy, that was good. The court stuff was fine. I do think, I like my sitcoms to be all calm. So, the sappiness was a little whatever, but I do think the sandwich joke hit pretty well. So yeah, besides the transphobia or whatever, overall, I think one of the best episodes of the show for me. Yeah. And
besides the transphobia and the conversion camp, I have to agree. This was a surprisingly funny episode.
Yeah, I wonder if they got a new writer or something. He's
The second
ready,
to last
finally.
one.
Yeah, because it feels like this episode kind of smartly. Joey is not really like driving much of the action of this episode, which is kind of nice. Joey's good at reacting to things, and I think when Joey has to do something, Joey having to react to an Alex who is really, jumping on him all the time, like that gives him opportunities to be pretty silly. And then the other plot lines I think feel like actual plot lines, so that Joey just being there and being dumb can play. So I'm happy they got there finally. Pretty good.
Yep, and I'm sure DJ would have liked it too if he had watched
I'm gonna watch it.
A likely story.
But
hey,
a week.
Why don't we get back to this Mercy summarizing I gotta do?
All right. Oh, you know what? I didn't even press the start button on the clock. Silly me.
Well, that's good since we just spent all that time talking about Joey.
That's handy. So Diggins, you give me a 3, 2, 1 or something. I will hit the start, and then you've got 15 minutes to give us a summary of the movie Mercy.
I'm not sure I'll need it.
I'm curious how this is gonna go. Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So Detective Chris Raven, LAPD, wakes up. Well, first we see a little commercial for the Mercy system.
Yeah.
Which is in future LA, crime's so bad that they had to institute a system where an AI judge will judge you in 90 minutes. And if you're guilty, they'll execute you. And you're like, how is that substantially different from the current criminal justice system? And you're like, I mean, it's faster, I guess. And then you're like,
they're going through hundreds of people a day, Diggins? That would suggest
you would expect that, Nando. But actually, there's been 18 cases in the past 2 years.
Really? So like a combined day of mercying if you add it all up.
I guess so.
We've only had the mercy machine on for 24 hours.
Also, then they're like, in the mercy system, you're presumed guilty until proven innocent. And you're that's directly unconstitutional, isn't it? This implies much further changes to the American justice system, which again would be more impactful than just the fact of this AI judge. And they're like, shut up, don't think about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's worked. Crime is way down because of the 18 cases that Mercy's handled.
Wow.
I know.
There's no more red zones in the city, Diggins, because
there's still red zones in crime, but the crime is down 68%. So that's pretty good. Anyway, so Chris Raven is then like, wait, what? I'm in the Mercy system, and the Rebecca Ferguson shows up and is like, yeah, you killed your wife, and he's like, what? No, I didn't. And this continues for 5 minutes. Then we get to the actual evidence where she's like, you drove to work and then immediately drove home, had an argument with your wife where you punched the camera outside your door and then screamed at her, and then you walked out and it was silent in there.
You broke something too, like a vase or something like that breaks.
Yeah, you can hear the sound of something shattering.
Yeah.
We don't find out it was the vase until later, Nando.
That's true, yeah. I don't know what that is.
And then 20 minutes later, your daughter came home and found your wife stabbed and dying. And there's her blood on your clothes, and they were found in a bar, drunk as a skunk when they came to arrest you. And he's like, what? No, that can't be what happened. I don't drink. And she's like, it is. So you're probably guilty. This looks really bad. And he's like, you're stupid. I didn't do it. Calls his daughter to be like, I didn't kill your mom. And she's like, what? I don't know what to think. And then her grandpa is like, hang up the phone. I hate you, Chris Pratt.
Aww.
And we're supposed to be like, that's not fair. But again, it looks really, really like he just killed their daughter. So,
yeah, and you will see later. There's some text messages that suggest this house is kind of a mess. So
we'll get to that.
He's very justified.
The Mercy system then lays out the full case, which is you're an alcoholic who's been abusing your family for years. There's your wife got to the point of documenting cases when you got angry at her to share with family and friends because she was so scared of you.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, our marriage was good. And you're like, so surely this will turn out to not be true and will all be fabricated evidence. And that's why it's like this, right? Because we have to sympathize with this guy. And the answer is no. This is all true.
No. Well, he is a cop.
So, he's a cop. That part's true.
Just the law of averages.
Oh, believe me, I have a wheel slice for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he calls his partner and he's like, she's a character witness, and then immediately starts collecting evidence with her. She's like, you could call witnesses for either character or to collect evidence. And he's like, this one's a character witness. And then she answers the phone and he's like, I need you to collect evidence for me. And I'm like, we're already just fucking completely wrong, huh? Oh, and also he gets a call with his AA sponsor, his buddy Rob. Who is the other named character in this movie. And Rob's like, I'm disappointed that you drank. And Chris Pratt is like, no, I didn't though. Which is really insane considering what happens later, but don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he and the partner walk through the scene and they're like, oh, looks like classic crime of passion, but it wasn't me. What if it was someone else? She has a second phone. And they find the second phone, and it's a burner phone. It's not a work phone. And she uses it to text with another man.
What? They let you have phones that aren't connected to the Mercy system?
Apparently,
she deserved it.
It's illegal, Nando. It's a black market burner phone. So they track it to a hotel in the red zone, and then you get to the hotel, and it's like this really nice upscale hotel, and I'm like, this is in the red zone? Or one of the red zones. Anyway, they catch the guy after he runs away. And the movie, one of my favorite parts of the movie where he's like, guilty people run. And the mercy system's like, frightened people also. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be the one point where we're like, cops aren't always right, huh? On this part? Okay. Anyway, they catch him and he's like, I didn't do it. And it turns out he has a perfect alibi. He's on camera at his job at the time of the murder, so he couldn't have done it. But he's like, you were a bad husband, and she needed someone to talk to, and that's what I was to her. And he's like, shut the fuck up, I hate you. And again, we're supposed to sympathize with him in this exchange somehow. But anyway, she's like, now you look even more guilty because there's a motive, and you just proved that this guy couldn't have done it. Right. But he's like, wait a minute, the guy said that she had trouble at work. So, but first he tells the truth. He does, because he's been claiming he didn't remember this morning, but it turns out he does. He was drinking when he shouldn't have been. He's drinking because his partner died on the force a couple years ago.
Very sad.
And he's not drinking because he's sad that his partner died. He's drinking because he's sad that he didn't shoot the suspect in the face instead of arresting him.
Yep.
His greatest
regret is that he didn't extrajudicially murder a man.
Man, his character would be fucking thriving. Thank God there's no real Chris Reagan out there.
No.
Anyway, so he does remember he had soda bottles that he was drinking out of, and he got to work and found them gone. So he drove home because he figured his wife found them, and that was their argument was about. And that's when he smashed the vase, which we saw earlier. But he says he blacked out in the middle of that argument, and he really doesn't remember anything from there. So he's about to confess, but then the mercy system's like, well, if you don't remember, you can't confess because it's not for certain that you did it. And he's like, wait, I thought you were the murder machine. And she was,
are we 97.5% or something?
It's fucking, don't worry about it. So he remembers that the boyfriend said that she had problems at work, which turned out to be that she was investigating her coworkers because someone was stealing chemicals from her chemical shipping company she worked at. So he's like, oh, some person who was stealing the chemicals might have done it. So he starts looking into all the people who was at their barbecue 2 days ago, I think it is. I think this is Tuesday and the barbecue was Sunday.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people there, and he doesn't really know who a lot of them are. And it keeps focusing in on this guy with a big bushy beard, and he's not important and doesn't come up, but it keeps focusing on him for some reason.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Anyway, so there's a bunch of people there, and they're like there, and he's like, one of them did the chemicals. I'm getting a little fuzzy here because the movie's bad.
This is also, I feel like, how he figures out that like that's how someone got
right, because then he
my
realizes
house to do the murder.
Yeah, he realizes like because Mercy's like nobody stopped at your house in the entire time of this morning. Like nobody in your neighborhood drove in and stopped, and none of the license plates match with any of the people who went to that party or any of her coworkers. But then he realizes, what if somebody stayed in the house since Sunday, never left, remembers his daughter in her secret Finsta video where she's video chatting with some dirtbag and getting ripped on that cotton.
Hell yeah.
Heard a noise of her dad that she thought was her dad coming home, but he was at work at that time. And then she's wandering around like, oh, this is a ghost house. And he sees the basement door is open, but they always keep the door closed. And if you slow it down, there's a guy's hand sort of in there.
He just probably took a poop or whatever and had to go back down.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but whatever. So Mercy's like, well, that doesn't prove anything. And he's like, my neighbor has a bird camera. Use that. But it's not connected to the grid. We gotta wait before we can look at it. But also, you haven't proved the chemical thing. And he's like, oh, let's look at it. So he looks at the emails and the video of the workplace. And it turns out Charles Holt, one of her coworkers, had an argument with her where he was like, I can clean up the whole chemical missing chemicals thing. Just give me some time. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna do that because it's wrong. And he's like, oh, this guy looks pretty guilty. And then they hack into his bank account and look at all his financials, because this is a thing you can do, I guess.
It's the
He
mercy
has
program.
access to everything. Anything you could possibly imagine.
Mm-hmm. And it turns out he's deep in debt and does a lot of gambling. So they're like, oh, he could make a lot of money selling those chemicals. So he tries to get in touch with Rob, his buddy, who also works with his wife, to like basically like apprehend Charles. But Charles is the one who answers. He's like, can you get Rob? And then they're like, oh, we got to keep an eye on Charles, make sure he doesn't get away. But Charles actually comes back and is like, I can't find Rob anywhere. And Chris Pratt's like, I know you did it, Charles. You murdered my wife. I'm going to get you. And he's like, what? No, I didn't. I just argued with your wife because I saw Rob was stealing the chemicals. And he's been such a good guy to me. I didn't want him to get in trouble. So I tried to smooth it over with your wife. And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah. And, you know, he wanted to talk to your wife about it at the barbecue on Sunday. He was so sure about it that he asked me to drive his car home for him. He's like, Rob didn't drive home from the barbecue on Sunday? And they're like, oh my God, he stole a truck. He's doing truck stuff. The GPS is at his house. Send the SWAT team. But he's got guns. Don't worry about it. So they go and they break into his house with the SWAT team. But he's not there. He just left the GPS there. He took the plates off the truck and he's just driving. So the drone goes and looks at the truck and it's like, he's talking to somebody in there. So Chris Pratt calls his daughter and it's like, but the grandpa answers and he's like, where's the daughter? I didn't kill your daughter. And he's like, she's not here. And he's like, oh no, look at the Ring camera. And the Ring camera shows that Rob kidnapped his daughter and he's in the truck with him. And the SWAT team goes out to his shed and they're like, oh, this isn't a drug lab like you thought it was. He's got the anarchist cookbook. Oh my God. He's making bombs. And they're like, oh my God, he's driving a truck full of bombs and he's headed straight for the mercy system. What's he doing? He's befriended me years ago, like just after the mercy system started. He's been planning this the whole time, but why? And they find a little picture of him from his orphanage days with his arm around somebody. They're like, who could it be? And so they do a big fact check with Mercy, and Mercy's like, the other person is David Webb, the first person killed in the Mercy system. Who's his brother?
I remember that name from earlier.
It's Rob's brother before they were adopted separately, which is insane.
Yeah. It drove him to madness. Clearly.
And then, so they're like, oh, this is all the thing, and the cops try to stop him, but Chris Pratt's like, no, don't blow up the truck, my daughter will die. So Rob manages to make it to the Mercy building and is like, Chris Pratt, get up here. And by the way, earlier he was like, you have to leave me in the Mercy system, even though we just proved I'm innocent, so I can keep doing this. And I'm like, I don't understand how that needs to happen.
Yeah.
But she does it, but then he gets out right before it goes off, and they have a tense showdown, and he's like, we can deal with this. He's like, my brother was innocent. I gave evidence, and I was calling him at the time of the murder. He couldn't have done it. Mercy checks up on all this, and is like, that's actually true. But why didn't it come up? And he's like, I called the police station and told a lady that happened.
A lady?
And it turns out
a lady at the police station.
The arresting officer was Chris Pratt's partner, and she suppressed the evidence so that the Mercy system would be put into effect. And I'm like, surely in this crime-ridden city, there were so many actual murders you could have used instead of faking this one.
Yep.
But it didn't matter. And she's like, we needed the Mercy system. And he's like, not like this. And he arrests her, and he arrests Rob too, because he still did a bunch of murders. And he's like, it's okay, daughter. I didn't kill wife. And I'm going to be a good dad now, even though nothing I did had anything to do with my problems. And then he looks significantly up at Mercy System and is like, we're both going to be good now. And Mercy System's like, yeah. And that's the end of the movie.
That is the end of the movie.
Beautiful. Diggins. That was a masterclass.
Wow. 15 minutes.
You didn't die in the chair. Thank God.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
You recapping at the end of that movie is fucking unhinged.
So stupid. It's such
so
a
crazy.
Stupid end to that movie. Loved it.
And it all happened so quick. It really does happen.
It's
very
really like
quickly.
the last 10 minutes of the movie.
And it's all so quick that you're like, you're kind of like, oh, this movie's almost over. They haven't learned any of the lessons yet. Like, is that going to come at the very end? It's like, no, it's not. There's no lessons to learn. It's all good. They're perfect
AI
people the way they are.
Actually.
Yeah, one
AI's
bad apple
good.
just ruined the whole Mercy program.
You can be an
When
alcoholic.
she's out of here, we're good.
It's fine. Break your wife's stuff. You know, I'm sure he'll be great dad.
Well,
He
now
beat-
that his wife is dead, he doesn't have to argue with her anymore. That was his main problem.
Mm-hmm.
He was drinking because of his wife.
Yeah,
Clearly.
now it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Yeah. I still think he killed his wife somehow. I think he managed to very cleverly get Ron in trouble, but like I think he did it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Ron did, you know, Ron obviously did it. Like I feel like there would have been more evidence to him doing it, right? More prints on the knives, all the blood fiber stuff have been like, wow, because it was a knife murder. It's like, wow, all of Ron's DNA and stuff is here too. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
they do hyper scans and are like your hair fibers and your body flakes are all over this place.
It's
Chris
just
Pratt.
you.
And he's like, it's my home, so that's not crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
But you think there'd be his stuff too, and he could be like, because of the barbecue, I was there. But like, there'd be something.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you know, there's a lot of wheels in this movie at the end when they're doing all the cool car chases, except some of them are on little drones, so they don't have wheels. But
Yeah.
forget about them and just focus on the cars, because we got to talk about our own little wheel here. Our own wheel, who, you know, if he ever got put in the Mercy system, maybe wouldn't get out so hot.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But we don't have to worry about that because we don't have a Mercy system in real life.
Not yet.
Yeah, you wait.
But I have a wheel here full of things for us to talk about in this movie, things we all want to talk about. So I'm going to give it a little spin and we'll see whose thing comes up. So we'll just give a little woo, tick, 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 tick. Oh, it landed on one of mine.
Oh, what you got?
It's one here that just says 40%.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, we got to talk about the main character of this movie.
He's got to talk about himself a little bit. We got to take him to therapy or something because he's got some issues.
Yeah, definitely. So,
Yeah.
if you guys aren't, if the listener, if you're not aware, 40% is a little statistic that I and others like to quote, which is that I think it's like 40% of cops have domestic abuse complaints.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that.
Yeah,
Yep.
have you never seen that online, DJ?
I'm learning this from you guys.
Oh, it always comes up as like a meme where people will say like, and did you hear like 40%, like they'll say it as something else. Like 40% of the cops in this area wear funny hats or something. Google cops 40% and find out more or something because it's like brings up that statistic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's reported, by the way. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Right.
probably higher.
It's true.
Yeah, so the main character of this movie is an alcoholic, abusive cop.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a statement of fact.
Yeah.
God.
And who lies about it?
He does.
Yeah, he would not tell you that if he's if asked by a computer who has all the information,
Right.
all the text messages, all the cameras.
After he is woken up from getting so blackout drunk that his memory is gone, and the computer is like, I analyzed the blood alcohol content of your body, and I know that you were drunk.
And not only that, it seems like Mercy has to wait for him to sober up in order to even do the investigation.
Yeah, that's what she
Yeah.
says. It's like, it's been 5 hours. You are now sober enough that I can legally conduct this proceeding.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
So, our main character is, like I said, alcoholic, abusive cop. We see throughout the movie, he lies about his alcoholism to, again, an omniscient computer. He, which, you know, really just demonstrates very poor judgment on his part.
Mm-hmm.
We see over the course of the movie evidence that his wife was scared of him, scared of his temper, was so concerned about his drinking and his anger that she started documenting with like physical evidence cases of him becoming abusive that she could share with friends and family so that they would know how he was acting. His daughter was also scared of him, believed that he was, you know, physically abusing her mom and wanted her to divorce him. We see incidents that were filmed where she catches him drinking and he like gets really aggressive and in her face and like slaps things out of her hand.
Yeah.
This guy's a piece of shit is what I'm getting at.
He is quite bad. Yes.
I mean, and if you I mean, there's the one clip that I don't think she caught him drinking. I can't remember what she's arguing with him about when he's like in the kitchen cooking and she gets like they start yelling and he takes the knife and slams it onto the counter like he's trying to kill Ratatouille or something. And I'm like, whoa, that is this is why I'm like, he's definitely done some crime. Mercy's gonna find something. You know, Mercy seems cool with it by the end. Like she's on board, but beginning Mercy, I'm like, can we charge him for something even if we don't execute him? I don't think that's crazy.
Just menacing knife holding seems like it should be some kind of like domestic endangerment. Like,
well, guys, what you don't understand is that as long as you didn't literally murder your wife, any amount of abuse or terrorizing or like emotional damages that you do to your loved ones is fine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have a follow-up, Diggins, because he does do all of those things to his loved ones, but he also fights his fellow boys in blue. How do we feel about that?
Oh, that's true.
Because when he gets drunk at the bar, he's like fist fighting all those people. Those are the boys in blue.
That's true. Oh, well, that doesn't look good. You know, that is actually a pretty big sign of his guilt.
What's the percentage of that? Cops who fight cops? Is it much lower? So it's a problem. It's like, it's only 10.
It's way lower than 10.
It's 0 because after that happens, those cops disappear and that goes off of the record. So
Right.
like that footage is gone very quickly.
People are like, "Who's that person? I don't even know who that is."
Yeah, I want to say that too. Like there was a point early in the movie where he's arguing with the wife over the ring cam, and then he punches the ring cam out of anger. And in my head, and this is obviously, I think probably a lot of people are like, okay, but what is this actually? How are we and Mercy misinterpreting this? Because obviously they're not going to just have him have done that. Like, and in my head, I was like, oh, he's trying to destroy all the cameras because he knows they're being surveilled or something. And like, this is a Mercy related conspiracy. But no, he just got so angry. He broke the ring camera, which we learned is just because she found his alcohol in his car.
Yeah, she found it away.
Yeah. He's mad that she took the alcohol he knows he's not supposed to have and has been lying to her about. Like, he's not like, honey, I'm so sorry. You know, I know I shouldn't be doing that. It's just been so hard. Like, please, can we talk about this? He's pissed.
Yeah.
Wait, so he turns to the drink because of he didn't kill his partner
because he's so mad he didn't commit an extrajudicial murder.
He was sober for like a year, right? Like, because that's part of the B-roll is like, here's your 1 year shit.
Yeah,
as far as we know.
Sure, let's assume that he was actually sober. Do we know why he turned back? Like, why he relapsed? Like, is there ever an incident that like triggers that?
I mean, when does the Mercy program start?
It started 2 years ago, they say. So I think it was, and he has to have gotten sober after that because his sponsor is Rob, and Rob doesn't get into his life until after his brother was, executed. So part of me was like, maybe the Mercy program, but I don't think it can be that. Stressed him out so much that he did murders. Alcoholics do relapse. I understand it's a story and it feels neater if there's like a reason, but there doesn't need to be a reason.
It seems like, but I guess the reason that they gave for why he became an alcoholic would suggest that there should be a reason. Like if there was some other, like another partner got killed, then you're like, oh, okay. And that started the cycle over again. Also, speaking of when the partner got killed, we see this in clip, like we see this from the dash camera of the thing. Yeah, I love that he's just fucking around on his phone while the partner's getting murdered.
Right.
But then I had to see this in a commercial afterwards to like fully be sure this is what it was. But partner gets shot by the guy or something. Yeah. In a traffic stop, goes behind the car back to where Chris Raven is, and then we see him get smushed between the two cars. When I was watching it in 3D, I kind of was like, oh, did Chris do that by accident somehow? Like, but I also thought the other guy does it too. Yeah, you can see it more clearly in the other version.
It really, I mean, I didn't see it in 3D, and it looked like, Chris had moved forward and smushed his partner. And like, in my head, I was like, that can't be it. It has to have been that the other car was moving. But it just like, the visual language of it is confusing.
Yeah. And but also like the idea that he's like, I'm mad that I didn't execute that guy. It's like, it doesn't make sense unless he would have executed him the day before, and then like he could have stopped the murder of his partner. But the way that he suggested it's just revenge, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that I didn't mention in the summary is the guy later gets acquitted for the murder. So that's why he's like, I should have just killed him on that beach because justice doesn't work.
Which, by the way, how, like, there's dash cam footage of him being shot by the person in that car.
I mean, to be fair, we don't really see where the bullet comes from. I mean, like, there's no way this guy actually gets off. This is just, cop fiction BS where it's like, oh, any criminal can get off on a technicality. Sort of shit, but like, we don't.
Yeah, cop killers usually get a lot of leeway from the state, so probably okay. But
well, it was lawless L.A., California, liberal, but
Gavin Newscomb probably did something. Yeah,
those red zones are just killing
I'm
a cop
pretty
at
sure
night.
the death penalty is illegal in California right now, so I guess they changed that too.
I love that they added mega death penalty to California somehow. Like, if that's what the death penalty is in California, I assume we're doing like genetics-based testing and shooting criminals just randomly in other states.
Yeah, we're doing full eugenics in Texas. It's just like when you're born, they do a DNA test, and you're like, "Sorry, you have criminal DNA. You have the serial killer gene from Riverdale.
Yeah,
you gotta go."
Your skull looks a little too big in this one area. We're gonna have to take care of this real quick. But yeah, the fact that he's like, and it works so well the other way. If he did murder the guy and then got alcoholic because he feels bad about it or something, like that's a character trait you can do. But the fact that they do it the opposite it's just insane.
Or if he did kill the guy on the beach and he's like, I lost it. I did something I shouldn't have. I feel bad about it. Like, that's also a thing where you can be like, yeah, I understand why you feel that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it would create kind of a little like, because we know he's involved in the Mercy program. The way I kind of expected it from the movie's trailers, he had like invented it, but that doesn't seem like what it is. It seems like he just championed it. Yeah, somebody else came up with the idea.
He was just like, I think this is really cool.
But it would be interesting. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I think I know where you're going, Nando.
I was saying, yeah, it would be interesting if like that was what we are shown, but then we find out that he's just kind of the figurehead for Mercy because his cop friend got killed in a way that was very like sympathetic, and he always felt bad about it. And then like that's the revelation of course of the movie is like he's kind of been trying to get rid of Mercy for a while, but he can't do it because of the surveillance state.
Right.
Like, there's a movie there.
Yeah,
but
another one.
This one.
Yeah, and another one is too. So I had assumed, like, okay, I did not see the 40% thing coming based on any of the trailers. Like, I had assumed.
Well, yeah, no, I don't think any of us did. We assumed, like, clearly they want us to like this main character.
Right, like you thought, like he created the Mercy program. There's some mix-up, but then, like, as the creator, he has to like figure out the hacks and jujitsu. He's got his little dice and he's rolling it from blue circle to blue circle, and there's a red eye coming after him, and he's gonna. This is a reference for like 3 people. Nando knows what is it of? About. Dispatch, the hacking and Dispatch.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That was bad, but like where that is also a movie where it's like he is the actual creator. He knows more about it than anybody, and this has been a huge mistake, and he has to use his Mercy knowledge to get out of it. But like they chose, hey, he's a piece of shit, and we're gonna make you, the audience, think that he probably did it, but don't worry, he'll get out of it for insane reasons. So much
stuff we don't see, like the kind of argument after he breaks into the house, but we hear about and we see evidence of afterwards that it's like, oh, again, it's like, what's the explanation going to be? How did the vase get knocked over in reality? Because he didn't throw it at her, but like, what happened? And what we find out and what he explains is just, I didn't hit her with the vase. I wanted to destroy it because I was angry at her because she liked it. That's all.
Yeah, like, it was her favorite thing, and I wanted to ruin her favorite thing because I was mad at her.
It's like a 10-year-old. They cut off all her Barbie's heads too. Like
what's so the visual? He's like, oh, you like this? You like this vase? Just like throws it on the ground. Like if I'm her, I'm like, what the
She took away my alcohol, so I took away her vase.
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
Maybe that is like kind of this is funny, or like this makes more sense if you kind of remember that this is like a conversation that the cops probably all have in the locker room afterwards, like every day. It's like, by the way, my wife fucking took away my alcohol. What did you bring of hers? The vase. Nice, cool. Because he doesn't realize that Mercy isn't a cop; it's computer, so it doesn't empathize with him yet. But it will.
Yeah,
give it some time.
Do we ever, speaking of things we don't see, do we know exactly when she is murdered?
We have a time frame, right?
It's very shortly after he leaves, I believe.
So
yeah,
this is also crazy because the what was it? Rob is the sponsor. So Rob is waiting in the basement to murder her. Chris Pratt comes back to like have a fight with her, and he's like, shit, this fucks up my whole timeline. And then he has to wait for them to have the fight and then leave, and then he comes out and murders her. Like,
this is like a separate.
Or does he, DJ? Or does this make his whole thing work in a way that without Chris Pratt coming home, his plan wouldn't make any sense?
I was gonna say, like, I had a whole separate wheel size for this, but yeah, he actually does. His plan hinges on framing Chris Pratt, a thing he does literally nothing to achieve.
All right, we'll wait for that wheel slice then. All right, sorry.
All right.
Oh man,
but
yeah.
I think we've covered all the ways in which he's a huge piece of shit,
Yes,
right?
I agree. I agree.
So why don't I go ahead and spin this wheel again?
Yeah, nice.
So we go, woo, tick 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 tick. Nando, it landed on one of yours.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, and this is lucky because mine are going in order. This wheel site is just called That Bitch Chili Norwood. I just want to bring up some of the stuff that we've heard about the movie since it's come out. Because not only did we get that, not only did Chris Pratt in an interview say, like, I haven't even heard of Tilly Norwood. It's who's that bitch doing computer acting or something. But then we heard the next day he did an interview and he said he wanted to have AI play Rebecca Ferguson and the movie studio wouldn't let him, which made me go, oh, did Tilly turn him down? Is that why he's got this grudge against Tilly Norwood?
Shit.
And she saw the script and was like, no, we're really picking our projects we're being a little choosy. We need to get out on like something big.
She was like, we really don't.
January.
We don't really want to do like, AI stuff.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like when Peter Dinklage was like, I don't want to do roles where the character is a dwarf anymore. I just want to do regular roles and the character happens to be a dwarf. She's like, I don't want to do AI roles. Yeah. I want to do a role that just happens to be played by an AI.
And then Chris Pratt in the meeting was like, this fucking bitch wears her favorite face. I'm going to destroy it because she's wronged me.
So bad. It's
such a funny, because on one hand, you're like, good, Chris Pratt doesn't like AI actors. When he says the first thing, and he says, like, who's Tilly Norwood? That whole thing is so stupid. But it's so weird that he still managed to call her a gendered insult. Like, it's such a funny version of that.
That's a good point.
How can you get that wrong? He figured it out. He's great.
It really feels like between that and then later the interview, he was like, I actually wanted there to be an AI actor. It feels like he has a reverse PR team who was like, uh-oh, he's about to say something people like. We got to get out there and ruin this.
Yeah, it's if this movie started really making money, we would have to find out that the AI he wanted to hire was like made by Israeli counterintelligence or something. There's really not a whole lot that can, that could be worse than in Hollywood than being like, I wanted AI to take the spot of Rebecca Ferguson. That's the other funny part is what he's saying is basically like, I wanted to get a computer to do it, but we had to settle on Rebecca Ferguson instead.
Yeah, that's
like,
harsh.
What would you feel if you were Rebecca Ferguson in that situation? And like clearly Rebecca Ferguson probably doesn't have a lot of feelings about this movie. I can't imagine she's like, but my Oscar. But the just the fact that you were going to be the first, like, you're kind of like the anti-scab of this like system that is eventually going to replace all the actors. Feels, I don't know, it kind of sucks. But yeah, I wish it was an AI actor. I wish that was there too, because then that would be some fascinating thing. And you know what? If the movie bombed, maybe it would give enough stink to AI actors that no one would do it again. Because it would be a big deal, and everyone would go, no, well, obviously we don't want to be compared to them, even if ours is good. Because, yeah, it's
And again, maybe AI doesn't need the help to collapse right now.
That's true. Fingers crossed. Yeah. But yeah, I just love that interview, and it's so funny. Yeah, I'm gonna spin the wheel again. Tick 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 tick. Oh, landed on one of DJ's. DJ.
Oh, awesome.
You read this one, everybody?
Yeah. So this one's 18 people? Question mark.
Yeah.
Okay. So the trailer's trying to make it like Mercy's like this like dystopian. It is dystopian, but like it is basically taken over and is like, this is it. We learned that over the course of 2 years, there have only like Chris Raven's the 18th,
19th.
Like, oh, he's sorry. So there've been 18 previously. So there's been 18 previous Mercy cases, and they've all ended in guilty killing verdicts. And like that just seems awfully low. Like percentage that has to be less than like 0.01%. It's probably like 0.00001%. I mean, maybe of murder trials, it's like one. No, there's so many red zones. Although are red zones lawless? Like if you murder in a red zone, you good?
Is it Amsterdam from The Wire? Just
I
there's no laws
imagine
here.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
because when they have to chase somebody through the red zone, the cops are kind of like, oh, we don't really do this. Like, that's going to be a problem for us. Right. So I imagine it's because seeing a cop in the red zone would be dangerous for them.
Okay,
because they're not expected to be there.
They'd have a pig roast.
Yeah, for sure. Let's say this is less than 1% of like murder trials. Like this just doesn't seem to be having the impact that it would hope to have if you're Chris Raven or the crazy fucking lady that's like, it doesn't matter. In order for there to be peace and order, except for red zones, we need this program to work. It's like, need this program to work. How is it so few? That like when they said that number, I'm like, this can't be. Like, I hope 18 this past month. We kicked it up a month ago and we're up to 18.
Yeah. It's like the beginning they say crime's down 68% because of the mercy system. And I'm like, I mean, first of all, so few. Obviously, it's like, well, that doesn't make sense that this is a huge deterrent, because then the odds that you get sent there are incredibly low.
Right.
But also, like, how is this different than just the death penalty existing? How is this more of a deterrent?
Yeah.
And I guess it depends on whether people in universe understand that the mercy system is this 1.5-hour speed court thing where like you have to argue for yourself and you don't get a lawyer. So like maybe the civil rights aspect of it is even worse, and there's no appeal process, and it's just all of that is bad.
It's a civil rights nightmare, but I just don't understand how it's supposed to be more like threatening punitively to criminals than like what exists.
Yeah, like also like a 90-minute like a trial for your life, literally. Like, there's no pretrial hearings, there's no jury selection. Like, they've cut out so many parts of the judicial process. They should be churning through these. Like, this should be the 18,000th
like
mercy trial.
That's the benefit of this system from the point of view of, you know, a fascist murderer. Is that it's really fast.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, here we are. 18 whole trials.
18. I mean, I feel like 18, getting 18 executions from any state, I feel like that's a lot in 2 years.
Yeah,
I don't know what the numbers are, but
relative to how it works right now. Yes.
Yeah, even the states that like execute people for jaywalking, like Arkansas or whatever, they don't get that high. So like that part of it's a little impressive. But yeah, I also feel like you would what we're told during Chris Pratt's murder trial, or like the narrative that Mercy is working with based on all of the evidence Chris Pratt has presented, which has all made him look super guilty, is that it was a crime of passion, which is famously not useful when it comes to deterrence. Like all of those crimes, nobody thinks about that stuff. So if that's what we're gonna mercy trial people for, it doesn't feel like we're going to deter the people who are trying to do like armed robbery or stuff like that, or like, you know, executing cops. If we're just gonna get the cops who, and I get there's a world where part of the deal with mercy is like, well, we got this one cop because we had to throw somebody in there to make people think it's actually kind of fair. But the idea that they the idea that they go after this case, if you're in the red zone and you're like, should I kill my drug dealer so I could get more drugs? As long as I don't, you know, strangle my wife on camera, I'd probably be okay, because that's not really what they're going for, are they? They're going for that. But yeah.
And the partner, Chris Pratt's new partner, like her whole thing is like, well, you know, we have to like the first mercy trial was like a setup job,
right?
Even though that's that one is so unclear, because a lady was murdered. They just got the wrong guy, but like, what did other things have exonerated him?
Probably like an ex-girlfriend or something. They just went to visit one day and got really upset with something she did, just ticked him off.
Because the guy's only thing was the alibi, right? But like, you know, were there no prints on the murder weapon? It's just like, it's very sloppily done to get to all these points, where like the world building is bad. Like, I don't buy Mercy as like anything that's real. Like, we're not in RoboCop or like Judge Dredd. It's not one of those.
Go on. Just another example of how lazy they are about sort of world building around Mercy, to the point that doesn't make sense, is there's two numbers she throws out early on, which is, she's like, you are like 97.5% chance of being guilty, which is above the 80% threshold to be part of the mercy system. And then later she's like, the only way to not be executed is for your guilt to fall under 92%. So, like, wait a minute. Are there people who get strapped in? They're like 85% guilty, and they just have to sit there, and they're like, well, I'm already under the number. She's like, oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. All right, get out of here.
Yeah, it seems like they would let you out immediately because he gets let out with 2 minutes to spare because he's proved his innocence, and they let him go. So
I also appreciate on those numbers. Doesn't she say at one point she's like, I could never be 100% certain of anything. And it's like, wait, even if he's like, I fucking did it. I remember I grabbed the knife. I killed that bitch. I hate her. You could be 100% sure that I did it. This is a confession. I mean,
statistically, there's still an infinitesimal chance that he is just lying. It's insane, but it is possible.
But then I'm like, well, what if they find footage of him stabbing her or something? Because that feels like those would be the crimes that you would send to the mercy machine.
Yeah.
Because those would be the ones that even the AI couldn't fuck up. And then they just go through all the things and go, this is where you were. This is where you were. This is why this alibi doesn't hold up. Oh, and also at like minute 5, we have footage of you killing her. And then they would, that would prove it.
We could sit here for 85 minutes while you plead your case.
Yeah. But again, this would exist just to prove that, like, this would make sense if it was a deterrent where, and this is the other thing that people don't seem to get, or like that the people that made Mercy don't seem to understand. You have to televise this or something. Right. Otherwise, nobody's going to care. Like, nobody's going to notice that. They'll hear about it. But like the fact that it is super weird, kangaroo court only works if people get to see the court.
Right. You got to see him in the chair and really got to see the killing. That's the, give the people they want.
It's all part of the like weird dance this movie does where it wants to make the dystopian Judge Dredd society about how cops are fascist and evil, but like it wants to be also a story about how cops are cool and good.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't do both of those things and it just ends up tying itself in knots.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
So anyway, that's that. I'll spin the wheel again. Tick, 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 tick. Diggins, this one landed on you.
I have one here that just says, The Incredible Murders of Mr. Magoo. Let's talk about how unbelievably lucky Rob is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So we sort of started getting into this earlier. But so his plan is he hides in their basement after the barbecue on Sunday, waits a day, then
poops on the floor,
eats
whatever he could find, doesn't make no
boxes in case they have to go down there and get something.
He snagged some food from the barbecue, or he brought freeze-dried food or something with him because he knew he was going to do this. Like, sure,
brought a bag to poop in, sure.
Yeah, whatever. Then Tuesday morning, after everyone leaves, comes up, stabs the wife.
Yep.
Sneaks out the back, hidden from all cameras. Climbs into his back, like the neighbor in the back's trunk, so he can, when the neighbor drives away, he can climb out and then go back to his house and do his big bombs and everything and carry it all out. Yep. Let's talk about every single way in which this should have failed, but the movie bends over backwards to make him succeed. 1, the way he actually planned to do this, he has, there's no one to pin the crime on. So it would lead to a much wider investigation that could, which, considering like we later find out he climbed out of the trunk on camera and everything, probably would have eventually found him.
Yep.
But
not just climbed out of the trunk on camera, we also get the footage of him with the bird, for the bird camera. We don't see it's him, but we see somebody sneaking out of the house for the back. So like you would find that guy once you just decode that footage, and like Chris Pratt knows about it. You find that guy immediately. It would take no time.
But lucky for him, before he emerges to kill her, Chris Pratt comes back, gets into punches the Ring camera, gets into a huge argument with her that you can hear shouting from outside, breaks a vase so that it cuts her a little bit and her blood gets on his clothes.
Yep.
And then he leaves again. And then Rob does the murder. thereby creating a perfect patsy that he had absolutely no hand in creating whatsoever.
Bwong.
Yeah.
It's not even like he stole the alcohol out of the car so that he would come back and confront the wife, because the wife did do it. She clearly knows about it and like acknowledges that she did it.
And even if he did steal it, he'd have to bank on Chris Pratt being so out of his like mind that he would leave work at like 9 o'clock and just not go to work so he can yell at his wife about his alcohol bottle and not just like go to the store and buy another one or something and then yell at her later when he gets home, because he knows he's full of rage and fury. The other thing was, because we can hear things on the Ring camera that happen in the house, we have to make sure that she doesn't say, Rob, what are you doing here? Right before he murders her. Because otherwise that would be on camera and then it would be open and shut case. But then other thing I thought of that's insane is, so at a certain point when they start closing in on like the stolen chemicals thing and he figures out like, oh, someone stayed in the basement overnight. He's like, we need to find out who didn't show up to work on Monday. And instead of using the omniscient AI to access the work records and be like, who didn't clock in to work on Monday, Chris Pratt, for no reason, calls Rob and asks, hey, Rob, who didn't go to work yesterday? So Rob can be like, oh, gosh, I mean, everybody showed up to work. I don't know what you're talking about. The one time he just asks a human being instead of using the ultimate hacker power. Yeah. And the other one that blows my mind is when the daughter, because it's not even that Rob was so good at this when he was hiding, because it all worked out. He snuck upstairs for a cookie or something and almost got caught by the daughter, who was just up at like, whatever hour it is on Instagram, doing sick vape tricks and stuff.
It wasn't even late. It was like 9:15.
Yeah, he just almost got caught by a third family member that wasn't really involved in any of this, because of how loud he was. But I don't know. Yeah,
I'm telling you, he really had to poop.
It might be. Yeah, and my favorite part of the whole thing is at the end of the movie. Well, not the end of the movie, but like when Chris Pratt eventually calls him as he's driving. Chris Pratt's like, "I want you to let my daughter go." He also like, Rob is like, no, everything, this is all part of my plan. I wanted to make sure you were in the Mercy room because I wanted you to explode with the whole Mercy program when I blew it up. And it's like, wait, did you know they would not only like frame him for the murder, but put him on the Mercy thing for it?
There's only been 18 of these.
Very little evidence he did it when you really get down to it. Like that, like, how do you know that will happen?
I mean, it looks bad for him, again, the way it turned out, but like, again, you had nothing to do with that. In your version of this plan, the daughter just comes home from a sleepover, which, by the way, you didn't have anything to do with happening.
Yeah.
And finds the stabbed mom, and the dad's like, well, I was at work the whole time, and everyone at work will tell you. And then it's like, so how does he get accused? Like, what are you talking about?
And if he, the thing with being accused and like getting in trouble with Mercy also hinges on Rob, like, believing, which, I mean, maybe he believes this because he trusts our justice system so much, but I think I'd be a little skeptical of it, especially if I were the guy whose brother got murdered in a way that was kind of fucked up, that the cops would even get Mercy. Like that, you would be like, but he murdered his wife. Let's check how his Mercy trial's going. What? They just let him go? Oh shit, they're right. He's a cop. Fuck. They don't do that to cops.
The real life version of this is they find all that evidence pointing at Chris Pratt, and they're like, well, but it's not him though. And then they just look for someone else.
Chris Pratt must have a twin. It must have been Rob who framed him. She'd be like, I did, but not you. Don't have that information. How did you know? Rob is insanely lucky. The other thing I thought was insane about Rob's plan is it is clear to Chris Pratt and the team originally, but like halfway through the movie, that someone at the work was stealing whatever that chemical was or whatever.
Because
they make
something.
chemicals. Yeah. So they were stealing that. But when the computer goes through the list of things that could be used for, they kind of end up on drugs because they're like, that's what it's usually used for. But they don't even kind of consider that it might be for a bomb, even though once they think a bomb is in play, the cop is like, oh, right, they use bombs for that shit too all the time. Like, so that whole part of the plan could also potentially be subverted by that being what the computer has, like something that kicks into gear, scan the area for bombs, and they find it. Because, not that.
And considering he has a whole bomb lab just running in a shed in his house.
Yeah.
It's like, if they, I don't know what sort of chemical output that creates. He makes a lot of bombs with like industrial chemicals that he's stealing from his company. I have to imagine that has some sort of environmental impact that can be like searched for.
Oh yeah, wastewater or something like that. You would definitely be able to find traces of stuff in the air or like the water system. Also, to do this, he would have to have an area of his house that is the shed and the around the shed potentially, because he's picking these things up and carrying them to the shed that is fully blacked out from mercy cameras, which you could do, but it would remind me of that time in the comics where Superman stopped Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor was like, but how did you find out my building is covered in lead? Or this little room I'm in is covered in lead. You couldn't see in the building. And Superman was like, yeah, I know. I saw a lead room, and I was like, yeah, it's probably in there. Because otherwise, why is it lead? Mercy would go like, well, let's check all the cameras. Wait a second, there's just one big blind spot by this guy he knows. And then you'd figure out it's there. Also, the craziest part of his plan is he kidnaps the daughter just in front of her house. Like in front of the
ring camera.
In front of the ring camera, in front of the uncle and all those people who think Chris Pratt murdered his their daughter. But still, I feel like would be like, but we probably, in case there is another murderer, let's just keep her within arm's length at all times. But they don't do that, and it just gets her in his humongous truck, which he drives that down like a suburban street, and nobody's like, the fuck is that doing here?
Literally an 18-wheeler, like it's a huge truck.
It's like, and maybe that's like Amazon, how like the Amazon truck brings you a tiny little envelope, and it's like they gotta have a better system for this. And it's like, no, big truck, little thing. They're like, oh yeah, I guess they must be getting like a new Echo for their house, and that's just how they deliver them in giant 18-wheelers.
And then in the reverse, when we find out what his motive was, which was his brother was David Webb and got executed by mercy, even though he had an alibi that the cops wouldn't let him bring up. So you call the police station. It happens to be this one lady who wants to frame your brother. And then, like, she says, we'll do something. And, like, nothing happens. And I understand mercy is fast, but, like, you don't call like the next day,
right?
Be like, hey, I said I had evidence to give and no one followed up with me. I'm just trying to, I don't want my brother to be executed by the state, so I'm putting more effort into this than a single phone call.
Yeah, and we haven't done a mercy trial yet. This is the first one, so the idea that he would be mercied, I feel like, would be a pretty high, like that would be kind of unlikely in general. So the fact that this cop would be like, we have to make sure mercy gets him, so I'm gonna fuck around with evidence in a way that like the cameras can see if you check for it. You would figure if they do that, and like there's even the littlest hint of like somebody may have fucked with it, that would be the mercy would check immediately. I would assume the AI runs a lot of other programs that Chris Pratt doesn't have to ask for in the background. That's just checking the evidence room, make sure nobody did some weird shit. But no, you have to ask the AI to check stuff. Otherwise, it just like won't do it, even if it knows it probably should.
Yeah, that
just comes up later. But
this is again, touching on some other stuff I had to bring up. But yeah, the AI system is stupid.
I mean,
so stupid.
All right. Does anyone have any other ways in which Rob is incredibly lucky or stupid or anything like that?
End.
The ripped up picture, but I think we'll talk about the ripped up picture later.
Right. I'm gonna spin this wheel then.
Blows my mind.
It's just stupid. Yeah. Whoa! Tick 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 tick. Oh, landed on one of Nando's.
Oh, okay. This one's pretty important. This one's just called one AI, one hover bike, and then we stop. This world is like identical to our own outside of that. Like, this is a world where we're using AI to execute criminals and nobody else has one. They're not used for any of the things we use AI for today. And we have hover motorcycles that we're also not letting anybody but one cop use. And she's able to like use it to do whatever, just go across town to beat traffic. But I just hate movies like this. And like there's parts where and the AI also is able to do like Batman detective vision to like recreate crime scenes or whatever. But like
love it.
It doesn't seem like if you're not doing a mercy trial, you would even get that. Because the mercy machine is the only one that like they do it. But I couldn't get over the fact that when he calls his I guess it's when he calls his cop partner, because when he calls Rob, it's not as obvious. But when he calls his cop partner, I was reminded like, oh, she's holding the phone up to her face like this. And then she turns the phone around to look at stuff. Like, that's what we do today. There's no way we don't have some sort of headset thing or some fucking, like meta cameras that, or meta glasses that have a camera in them.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, this world is just really, really poorly built and like thought through, because outside of that one thing, nothing about it is even remotely futuristic.
Mm-hmm.
Even the guns, normal guns.
Well, but yeah, they even like say like the make and model of the gun at one point, and it's just a one that exists now. But Nando, it would be expensive to make more future.
That's true.
And I don't want to spend money on this movie.
And every time, to be fair to the movie, if it was cool, if it was like a Starship Troopers, I would buy a world where every time something didn't make sense about the Mercy program, you're like, yeah, but the cops just did it that way because there's no oversight and they're the only ones with a budget to do it. So like you would think like, why don't people have Mercy? It's like, because it costs $1 billion, but they just get that much from the LA government. So they fucking blow it on Mercy. Or like, wait, but why doesn't anybody else have a hovercopter? Because no one else could even bother using one, and they don't let you permit it unless you're a cop, and then they let you do it. But the movie's not smart, so it doesn't say those things or like make those points.
Or just generally be anti-cop in a way where you could, where a person could, without being prompted, be like, well, that's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the quad hovercopter for her, I guess, is good, except like, yeah, lets her get from one part of the state to the other quickly, but like she's not doing anything at those locations that like a drone just couldn't do anyway. Like you could have a weaponized drone that does all that. You could have a drone on a speaker with a camera. Like nothing about her physical presence. Even like checking out the lab, it's like
she does arrest the boyfriend,
and
she is able to get up to the roof to arrest the boyfriend because he does the classic movie guy mistake of he has to run from the cops, and so he decides to go to the top of the building where there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I guess she should have like a Red Wing, like a little drone to help her out.
They milk that bit in the trailers of him and her almost falling off the building to make it look like a dramatic thing, and then they end up falling like 5 feet onto another kind of ledge, so it's fine.
I laughed, and a couple people looked at me. I'm like, "That's funny. Like, what are you talking about?"
I love that. But yeah, they don't have that. They don't have like drones, like you're saying. They don't have other cops that are anywhere near competent that Chris Pratt's like, because Chris Pratt has presumably been a cop for a while. So he's not just like, I'll call John. He's down already in the South Central area. He could probably do this too. He's like, a partner, get on your stupid helicopter bike and fly over the city. And then you do it. I would be pretty upset if I were her that he's making me do all this stuff. Because she's involved, and like she does have a huge incentive to start catching and just shooting these people, which she doesn't do originally because the movie hasn't figured out that she's the bad guy yet. But like she's not always volunteering, like, I'll go, don't send Steve, I'm gonna figure this one out, I really want to get your solve your murder. And they don't have they also don't use any of the like the what was I gonna say, like they don't have like body cams that they can just turn on and check what other cops are seeing at the moment. They do sometimes, but they don't use those the way that like it seems like you would want them at times when time is a huge issue during your mercy trial.
Yeah.
And another thing they don't have that really I think is insane, because So we think Chris Pratt's partner dies, what, 2 years ago or something? 3 years
ago? It was
maybe?
over 2 years ago because I don't think the Mercy system existed yet.
But like recently enough that Chris Pratt kind of looks the same. So I'm going to say maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
That sounds right.
The guy with the truck is able to back up and kill the partner. So we don't have self-driving cars in this future yet. You still have to drive a car with your feet and stuff like, and Chris Pratt in the cop car also doesn't have a self-driving car or a car that can drive backwards if it just senses a guy in front of it. Like there's just nothing even remotely futuristic about anything in this movie. Or even like current. It seems like every part of technology regressed, but cop stuff, which again would be fine in a movie that's smart, but it doesn't acknowledge any of that. So it's stupid. But yeah, really, really, really awful world building. Kind of reminds you of Tomorrow War, another movie with like psychotic world building where they invented time travel, but they didn't invent like other stuff. But
and
so
Chris
maybe it's
Pratt.
in his contract. Yeah, maybe
And
he's like, if Amazon makes a movie with me, we gotta make sure there's no computers.
And a movie where a plot point is a huge societal problem that the movie just treats as an immovable fact that there's nothing to do about.
Yeah, he's I mean, I don't know what it is with Chris Pratt. Because every movie he makes that's not Guardians of the Galaxy is one of these, or Super Mario Brothers, I guess. But like, it's like you're saying about negative PR team. It's also kind of like he's picking negative like scripts or something where he's trying to burn credibility as an actor for some reason, like because he's got some bet with Arnold that he could be a worse actor than Arnold Schwarzenegger. And maybe that's all he respects. But like the idea that he hasn't done anything even like Guardians of the Galaxy since then, and all these movies kind of work in like this one. I think he's charismatic just generally as an actor, so he makes it a little bit more watchable than it would be if it had like a really shitty actor in it. But like he seems to be hunting down projects where his charisma has to save it, and not just his charisma is a part of the better thing, which makes it really great. And yeah, I really don't get it, because he doesn't seem like a dumb guy. He seems like an average intelligence guy. And he has so much money that he must have a team that is of average intelligence at least. So yeah, what's happening here? Is it Amazon? Is Amazon just offering him so much money to do these shitty movies that he's like, I can't turn that down. Yeah, what am I gonna like? Otherwise, they'll fire me from that other show I do for them. What is Terminal List or something? Like, I've got they're so tight with me. I gotta hook them up. But yeah, I don't know. He probably should break up with Amazon. But I get it. It's hard to do that. Otherwise, what are you gonna do? Go to stores? Like, you can't do that. They don't sell things at stores anymore. You got to do whatever Amazon says.
Yeah, they're in charge.
Yeah. But I will spin the wheel again. Tick, 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 tick. Ooh, landed on one of DJ's. DJ, what do you got here?
I want to talk about Smug AI. I didn't have a better title for this, but I want to talk about, it's not like Rebecca Ferguson's fault or her performance, but the way the AI is kind of
Nothing is Rebecca Ferguson's fault, DJ. She's never done anything wrong.
You're right.
She's perfect. Her accent is normal, and she's I don't know why we made the machine kind of Swedish, but we did.
This machine, so I guess we've advanced AI to the point where it's beyond these stupid LLMs, and it's like it's a talking interface, and it can think in real time and has all this info. But I guess we also programmed in or had it learn a part to be like condescending. There's so many points early where it's like, really, Mr. Raven, you think that that's a reason? You punched the camera, sir. You did this, blah, blah, blah. And like, not just like a laying out of the facts, but it's like, and also you're a piece of shit. Like,
yeah,
it's just like a very weird way to experience this. Cause like it's not how a judge ever is when we see depictions of a judge.
Right. It's how DA is, or some other attorney that's prosecuting you. Yeah, but that's not how mercy is described, and it has no reason to do that. If this is just a machine that's trying to prove guilt or innocence, I don't know why it has to neg you to like seem to make you more antagonized and like scared to fuck this up. But it does.
It's like what Diggins said during the summary. It's like you could make a call for a character witness or to gather evidence, and it's like, well, you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want. Mercy's not gonna hang up. And also, like, anytime, remember, there have only been 18 of these previously. anytime they call someone, this is Judge Maddox with the Mercy
Oh
Corps,
my
blah, blah,
God,
blah.
yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, yes, ma'am. I am here to comply. Like, who are you? Like, Mercy? I think I've heard of that. Like, everyone is immediately ready to comply with Judge Maddox.
And
Well, or the opposite. I think that's crazy. Or like, I think the fact that people need to be explained what mercy is by the computer at all, you would find out your friend did a murder and you would be sitting by the phone like, I hope Mercy calls me, because if I don't answer, if I like take a nap for an hour and a half, I might miss the whole trial and he dies. But this is like, they're not even at the level that like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire phone a friends were at in the 2000s, where like you would sit on the phone when your friend's doing Millionaire in case you have to answer a question. They have to get people and they're like, hey, sorry, I'm working. What can I help you with, Mercy? Like, sit down, dude. Put down the fucking dock machines and equipments and listen to the Mercy machine. Yeah, both versions of that are crazy.
And all of this, I think, or maybe not that part where the people are very casual about it, but the part where the AI is kind of like smug and condescending at certain points makes sense in the world where this is the Judge Dredd world, where the AI is just built to execute people who get put in it, and like doesn't actually care about the evidence, and like this is all just again, fascist murders.
Right.
But that's not the world this movie is. The AI, it turns out, actually really is interested in justice, and it's like, so why is it like that then?
It's bizarre. I feel like when I was leaving this movie, my main thought about it, which I forgot to, I don't think I mentioned, is like, this movie feels like the movie that would exist in the world of Mercy, that the Mercy program would make. Like this would be the propaganda created by the Mercy program to make the Mercy program make a lot of sense. And then you'd get in it and it would be like, a little tape recorder or something. You'd be like, where's Rebecca Ferguson? Well, we don't have that. There's a reason there's never anybody else in the room with you when we do these. We don't want any witnesses to what is just we shoot you. And then we go home.
There is no, we didn't actually build an AI. We just take you to a room and shoot you.
You can ask ChatGPT a question before you die. So that's one part. Is the smugness, but then there is this other part. It's almost like the AI has to like make sure it's Fox News fair and balanced. We're like, right when Chris Pratt's ready to give up, she's like, "No, Detective Raven, no, you cannot give up. You don't know that you did it. Find the path. The one thing's the other." And it's like, how are you his cheerleader now? I feel like the only way this works is if there are. Almost like a courtroom. There's 3 AIs. There's your defense attorney, and then there's prosecutor. There's the judge AI, but just one person who has to play, both sides of the fence, make sure that you suck, but also that you haven't given up, and then also decide your fate and kill you. It's like it can't all be one person, and that's a problem when you have a 2-man movie and you need like 5 roles in it. It's ridiculous.
We can't possibly pay more actors, DJ.
Or have different Rebecca Ferguson wear 3 different hats or something, and
Right.
then
That
put her
would've
on
been
3
so
different
funny.
screens next to herself.
Oh, I would have loved
With
that.
different accents, like Southern drawl for the attorney, and then like no nonsense judge. Yeah.
Your Honor, myself, I just have to say on defense of my client, Chris Raven.
Do it a little, like I said, Dickens, a little bit more Swedish. Not a lot, but enough that I can hear there's something there.
All right. Your Honor.
Yeah, there you go.
I might just be a simple country lawyer.
And I love Rebecca Ferguson. I really do like her, and she's fine in this, but man, the idea that we would build that robot and not just hire an American actor to do the robot stuff is insane. Unless we got this from Sweden, and they've been doing this for years, but they use it for
maybe
like
that's
their
it.
legal, like what do they have? Because there's some countries with like a little bit of euthanasia. I don't know if Sweden's one of them, but like they're all in like the fucking Netherlands or somewhere like that. But yeah, maybe we bought it from them. Maybe that's why it's called Mercy, because otherwise there's no reason why we're calling this thing Mercy. I don't understand where we got that name from at all. It's not an acronym for anything as far as I can tell either. But maybe it is good if you're doing mercy killings with it. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything else on Rebecca Ferguson, Mercy?
Not
I mean,
on.
it's.
Oops, sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say it's crazy that her name's not Judge Mercy either, or something. And we
Right,
kind of brought
Judge
this up
Maddox.
before,
Why
but her
is she
name is
Judge
Judge
Maddox?
Morrison or something like that.
Judge
Maddox.
Maddox.
Yeah.
That's
weird.
either. Yeah,
Doesn't make
it
a
is
lot of
weird.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else about the personality. I have a different tax that might come up soon on the wheel.
Yeah.
All right,
How about
well,
you
maybe
spin that
it'll
wheel,
come up
DJ, and we'll
sooner
see.
than you think. Spin, tick, 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 Diggins.
I have one here called Artificial Stupidity.
Okay.
I want to talk about how the way this AI functions in this movie. They try to put it as like, you can't just focus on the facts. You got to have your instincts and your gut. And that's why you need humans. And it's like, no, the problem with the AI system is that it functions like a human instead of like an AI.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like Nando was saying earlier, it doesn't analyze all the data that it gets and like be like, okay, well, this person was here and this person was here. And so then we can make these logical connections. It just gets told like Chris Pratt was there and then, we think he did it. And she's like, well, here's all the reasons he did it. And then doesn't analyze anything else.
Yeah.
Even though it later turns out all the evidence for the crime was also on the cameras that the AI can see.
If only we had access to all the cameras at once and we could just scan through them real quick and figure something out. But
if only there was
all
some
we have
kind of
is-
algorithm that was capable of processing data much faster than a human being. If only that existed in this sci-fi world.
But Dickens, it wouldn't have the intuition of a Detective Raven who's like, oh, the bird camera might see a bush move, and that's how we know that something. Check a car for a man to come out of a trunk. Ooh.
Well, the point of the AI system, if it's a real AI system that's supposed to analyze, crimes and has the surveillance state, again, if it's not just a fascist murder machine, which in this movie it's not, is that it can look at everything and make those connections in a way a human being can't.
But they still in this movie have to, because like this movie is a crime procedural kind of, so it follows a lot of the traditional like kind of beats of one of those movies, like a My Cousin Vinny or something like that. I mean, My Cousin Vinny's the best one of those, and this is the worst. Still, like it follows those beats, so it even has to do some of those things where like there's a piece of evidence that you need to get, but if you got it too early, it would ruin the crime. So you have to send out for it. There's things where it's like, oh, I got to decode the bird camera. It's going to take a second. And it's like, you're the fucking computer. How would you not do this yourself? I got to search through all the picture halves to find his picture half. And then maybe we'll figure out the secret to this murder. And it's like, were you not doing that? Just when we saw the picture immediately, you had to be asked? What's wrong with you? Because the machine doesn't even know that it can, like, Mercy has to be kind of told that there might be phones that are disconnected from the Mercy system.
Yes.
And it might be kind of useful to figure out where those are. And there are people on camera using them. So Mercy should really easily be able to tell, wait, this person's on camera using a phone, but they're not on my system making a phone call. Oh, they must have one of the black market phones. But Chris Pratt needs to, like, explain that to it. Yeah, that's insane.
And like the thing at the
crimes.
end, I feel like is even crazier about this because so at the end we find out that his partner Jack hid David Webb's cell phone from the evidence and like wouldn't let it be submitted, so they didn't know. So the cops didn't know it existed. But then once it's revealed and the AI system is like reconstructing everything, we see she has the phone isn't like a black market phone that she can't track because she chose like, oh yes, the GPS thing from the phone is here when the crime is being committed.
Right.
Why didn't you just look at that?
Yeah.
The first time. Why would you need to be told to look for his cell phone? And as soon as the cops are like, well, he didn't have one on him, you're just like, well, then don't even bother checking.
Yeah. They even, I think, I can't remember if this is true because I also watched something recently that did this trope, but I think this happens in this movie. She has to go to the evidence locker to get the phone. I think they have the phone in the police station and she has to, I assume, swipe a card or you do a retinal scan or something to get in there and just walk out with it. And that's on camera. But also, like, you would assume there's a record of who goes in and out of there that the Mercy program would just be scrubbing through all day just to make sure that all the evidence is normal and everything's good. But that is like the last piece of evidence that Mercy finds that ends up really nailing this character down. Yeah, it's just so stupid. Yeah. And the other stupid thing is when Mercy, and this is, I think this is kind of enough of the same thing. This is where you're going to get at with this. At one point, Chris Pratt is looking through computer or like doing something. I can't remember what. And the Mercy program is like, by the way, you forgot to check your wife's email. You should do that because that's another like kind of little area you can go down. Why didn't you do that? I'm doing this other thing. I only had an hour and a half. Like you do really need to be asked to do every single thing. Otherwise none of it will get done. And it's psychotic.
So like it's not actually like an AI investigating and deciding what happened. It's you have to think of like how you could prove you're innocent. And if you can't think of it, it doesn't matter that the AI has access to it. They're just like, nope, too bad. You didn't think of it.
Right. That really is the problem with this being an AI movie at all. Is it's not an AI, it's a guy with a computer who's pretty good at Googling and can get into everybody's email that's sitting in the room with you. And it's also not an AI, or it doesn't have like the problems of an AI, because it knows that you can't be 100% guilty and goes like, well, no, 98% is as guilty as we can possibly make you for the computer. You kind of figure that would be something Chris Pratt would have to convince it of before it kills him, because if the Mercy machine ever gets to 100%, which it does frequently, it'll just kill you on the spot. But they've already built in like some safeguards that make it kind of nice in a way that like a person is kind of nice, but a computer probably wouldn't be. And yeah, you could totally do this entire movie without it being an AI, and it wouldn't matter. It would just need to be one person who is the judge, jury, and executioner, and they have all the power to do this and whatever. Mercy's just a guy, and I don't know why they did it this way, but yeah, they did. It's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, why don't we spin that wheel? I think we got a couple more.
Maybe one more, a couple, maybe another.
I got another.
We'll see.
One or two more, you think?
We'll see. Yeah.
All right.
See how quickly some of these go. This next one might be real quick.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a spin on this then. Woo! Tick 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 tick. Nando landed on one of yours.
Oh, okay. Let me just read this one real quick. This one is called Wool Sluice. Oh wait, sorry, it deleted stuff. Wheel Slice. That's actually what it's supposed to be. Do you guys remember the credits for this movie? How they are presented? Yeah. It is so irritating. So for people that haven't seen the movie, which is most of you, I guess, the credits are just Although when this comes on Amazon, I do think parts of this will get shared on Twitter, and a lot of you will have seen parts of it kind of out of context. And hopefully part of it's this, because it's really easy to kind of get why this is weird. It does this thing that a lot of kind of lazy movies do these days, where it takes the CGI assets and puts them into a shot and like kind of rotates them, and that's what you're looking at during the end credits. And it's kind of cool sometimes. It's like, oh, that's the explosion from behind, whatever. It puts all their names of the main characters, actors on the bottom of the screen, but it types them all out because computer type. But like the first one, let's say Chris Pratt, it types it a little bit, but then it types like CHOS, and then it delete, and then CHRISPRATT. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cute. Like it's spelled it wrong. It does that for every single member of the cast.
Oh, Nando, like I actually, that's what it seems like, but I actually realized it's doing something different.
What is it doing?
It starts typing their last name, then backs up and does first name, last name. Right. And it's like, I thought this was an AI. Again, this makes sense if the movie is a man typing and doing it kind of but this is at no point does anybody type a name on a keyboard. So, right. What are we doing? Like, it doesn't even match. Besides being really irritating to see, it never clicks with what the with the theme of the movie. Yeah, I thought it was really, really stupid. And it's the last thing you see before you leave. And that's always fun, is when the last thing you see before you leave is like
pretty embarrassing. So that's like the thing you're walking out of the theater with.
Well, what about the post-credits scene, Nando?
Was there a post-credit scene?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
was going to say, that'd be incredible.
Because like with these, like when I saw like 28 years later or whatever, your movie finishes and then you go on Google and you check, is there a post-credit scene? If you don't think there is, because like if it's a Marvel movie, you kind of know. But like with these, sometimes there is. But if you're seeing it on Monday before anybody knows if there is one, you can't do that. But in my head, I was like, well, what even could it be? Like, what could it possibly be except for all the other cameras that she missed of Rob sneaking around like a criminal? And it's like, oh yeah, if you had just done that traffic camera, you could clearly see him, going over there with the big knife. But yeah, that would be too cool for this movie. But yeah, bad movie. I'm gonna spin the wheel again. Tick, 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 tick. Landon on one of DJs.
Yeah, this is another really quick one, but someone shoot a tire. Watching that last chase with the fucking truck, no one being like, how do we take this truck out? Can we use anything? Can we use the little spikes we put out? Can we shoot some tires? It is, this man just unimpeded gets into the Mercy building, but then still's got to wait. He's got to make a whole show of it. He starts monologuing, and he's like, oh, I got my dead man switch. But luckily, Mercy's like, there's a 84% chance that if you take out the battery, you'll be good. And it's like, thanks, Mercy. Because I don't know, we kind of glossed over this, but at one point Mercy becomes Chris Pratt's like comms tactical radio like advisor. Yes, God, the ending of this movie was so stupid.
It's extra stupid because when the police, after all the police explode in his lab, then right, like Chris is free. He doesn't have to do Mercy trial anymore, but like you're saying, he stays on the computer and he's like, no, I'm not confessing yet because I need to use your omniscient AI to Google everybody and shit.
And like, why can't the AI just keep working after you get out of the chair?
Yeah. But and if this was a different situation where you weren't doing this, like where you were proven innocent but you had half hour left, could somebody just be like, hold on a second, I want to go and just like fuck around with everybody's banking information while I got you here? But the cops, then it becomes like a different kind of movie, and it's normal cop movie, and Chris Pratt is coordinating over the phone with the other cops, and I can't remember the name of them, but there's one of them specifically who's kind of in charge of this. And they're like, Havelock, yeah. So they're setting up blockades and they like figure out routes. It's not like they're just chasing him. They have plenty of time to stop this car by, like you're saying,
set up a
spike strip or but this, because it's an 18-wheeler and it just decided it can plow through all of them, and the cops are completely taken off guard by this. Like they have no plan. If it doesn't stop on its own, then what's the point of the barricade? Like, what did you do?
Did we talk about how Mercy saved Chris Pratt's daughter by shutting off the little car drone that was going to blow up the whole truck?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that happens. Can we also talk about how in that chase scene, they show people like on the streets, like dodging out of the way of the truck.
Yeah.
But then also like very obviously, like they kind of like just disappear so we don't have to think about it. But like then cop cars drive through where they are like a second later, and they cops definitely killed like a dozen people in the
100%. This is like that scene in Invincible where he holds it in front of the fucking train because like the car should be, the truck at least should be covered in blood after it makes a couple more of these stops. And I even think, because I think the first time you see that one of those shots where like the truck drives through a thing, people do kind of get out of the way, but I guess they got tired of making those, because I think you do see a couple people just get fully run over by the truck the second or third time you see one of those shots. But like Mercy has decided that we have to save Chris Pratt's daughter, but let all those other people die. Like it took that calculation into effect because Chris Pratt is cool to it.
The fact that that's the plan by the cops is like, all right, we're going to take this little remote control RC car with a little bomb on it and blow up the truck. It's like, that's going to do so much damage, right? Like, you're killing a hostage, like just insane.
And we determined, because they do all the math, like if the truck drives into the city, it's like an atom bomb going off in the middle of the city. It destroys so many buildings, vaporize everybody. If it does that a block away from the city, it's still going to get a lot of people. Like, I don't think the cops would ever do that if it was anywhere near the city.
What were these chemicals, by the way? What were these
It's a good question.
Insane
Well, I mean,
chemicals.
we'd have to open up the anarchist cookbook. None of you guys have it, right?
None of us are evil enough to own the anarchist cookbook, are we?
Oh, I forgot the mini nuke recipe that's in there.
Wait a second. Now that I think about it, the cops that use the little drone car to maybe explode the truck, take the drone car, put it on the ground, and then drive it up 100 feet to explode. They would totally explode if the truck exploded, and they don't give a shit. They just are like, I guess I'm gonna go, whatever. If it gets exploded by my little bomb, it won't like explode. But then
little mini
we'll all be okay.
Now there are explosives that work that way. It doesn't seem like this is one of them.
No, this is definitely your pretty crazy explosive.
Big boom.
Like,
Is that the wheel? Is that
it looks like there's one tiny little slice left.
Yeah.
Like, probably only like a minute of discussion worth, but it is there.
Okay.
Spin that wheel. What do you got?
Oh, did you spin the wheel? I didn't hear it.
So I spin.
Once there's only one slice on the wheel, it's the whole wheel, so you don't even need to. You spin it for posterity's purposes, but you know where it's going to land.
I know that tiny little slice. All right, it just says here, Chris Pratt feet pics.
Oh yeah,
it's got the tootsies out.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Why is that?
Dogs are barking.
They really are.
Oh my
God. Dog fully out. Is it because in the beginning I was like, oh, they have to electrocute him or something, and that's how they kill him. But we find out that the Mercy machine kills you with like a sonic pulse or something.
No, it is electrocution. It's just like it goes through the whole chair.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, then maybe it's that. Maybe they don't want to like ground him with his shoes, but I think it would still get you if it's coming from the chair and not like lightning.
I don't really know how the electric chair usually works, if I'm being honest. But I don't think wearing shoes, even rubber-soled shoes, would stop it.
Yeah, I mean, even if the rubber-soled shoes would stop it, like, it would still heat you up like crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's you see people like smoking during that.
It's pretty gruesome.
It's crazy that we're still doing that in this universe, like that it isn't a lethal injection or even just a bullet, because that's the one that always
also really bad.
Lethal injection is also really bad, but at least that's the one we use today. You don't get the chair anymore, I don't think, but like, and maybe the computer would be able to do better lethal injections than like a state that has to go on the dark web to find the right poison or whatever. But I think it's so funny that when Mercy is explained to us by the like commercial for Mercy or whatever news report we're seeing, they say like Mercy is judge, jury, and executioner. And then when he gets to Mercy, one of the first things Mercy says is like, I actually can't execute you. The chair's going to execute you if I don't unlock you, but like legally I don't do that. I feel like we could sue the Mercy machine for that and get out of a Mercy trial. It was like, you said it was an executioner, but it's not. This has been misrepresented. I get to go. I get to leave. And
well, you see that, and I'm just like, well, obviously this is a way so that like the machine can be malfunctioning later and he could still be dying.
Right. Yeah. But
like there's no other reason to set it up that way.
Yeah. It's so yeah, this movie, man, is
anyway, his dogs are barking, and it just really felt weird to me in the last scene where he's like doing jujitsu wrestling holds on Rob, and like his little feet are like slapping his hand with the gun and everything, and I'm like, I don't know, it just feels weird. Maybe
he's like, I haven't shown these off, but I got good feet. I didn't really get enough of a good look at him to like judge the feet, but also I don't really think I'd know what great feet look like.
Guys, it's time to head to Wiki Feet. They're probably up there right now.
Oh yeah, we'll check right now.
But yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe and maybe that's what the script. He's been waiting for a script to come past his desk where he could take his shoes off, and just none of them do. So he jumped at the opportunity because that was one of the first things he saw, and he didn't really read the rest of it. It's possible. But I would also imagine if he's a WikiFeet, if he cared about WikiFeet, he'd have his agents making fake WikiFeet accounts, like upvote his feed or something. Like he's rich enough to get the good stuff. And I don't know if I'd even believe what WikiFeet says.
I don't know that we don't know that he doesn't do that.
Yeah, it's very possible.
I
don't know if we know what the foot fetish celebrities are, but I bet if we checked, we could figure it out.
Quentin Tarantino.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. He definitely is in there.
Now, don't ask me why I know this. I don't think WikiFeet does ratings for male celebrities. I think it's only women.
Oh. Get with the times, WikiFeet. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Jesus.
2026.
Oh my God.
Come on. I want to. Has anybody Googled this now? Because I'm going to do it. I'm going to go Chris Pratt.
All right, yeah, let's.
Chris Pratt's feet.
This is investigative journalism.
Oh, he has a rating. It's
really?
WikiFeet men. It's men.wikifeet.com. But I would imagine this is still that's the same domain.
I think so.
He's got some pictures with the dogs are out because he does a lot of jujitsu, so there's a lot of pictures of him or like training. He does all those videos to show how many muscles he gained for fucking that. So you can see his feet. He's got a 4.89 rating, which seems far too high for what look like pretty average feet.
Out of 5?
Yeah, out of 5 stars.
I don't know, maybe the PR team is inflating that rating.
It's quite possible. Let me look up who's like another kind of. Let's look up one of the other Chris's, Chris Evans, and see if maybe if you're just super famous, you kind of guarantee. Whoa, Chris Evans has a 5-star gorgeous feet rating. So
damn.
you can do better or worse than other ones. Wow. It's even like it looks different on the rating star system. They look excited, as opposed to the other one. Wow, that's wild. Chris Hemsworth. Let's like last Chris, and then I give up. He's not on here. That doesn't seem right. Yeah,
it's never had the feet.
No, I found it. I spelled it with 2 M's by accident. 5 stars, but like not the same. Not gorgeous feet according to the machine.
Maybe it doesn't have enough ratings to be considered.
Yeah,
like, it's like 5 people have voted him 5 stars, so it's like it is 5 stars, but it's not like verified.
That's probably it because Chris.
How do you verify that?
Well, but then Chris Hemsworth has 855 total votes. Chris Evans only has 612 total votes. So maybe it's like a Rotten Tomatoes thing where like the verified foot fetishists get to judge extra,
like
and they
the
get to decide
editors get to make the judgment call.
They get to decide if it's gorgeous or not. But there's photos, there's videos. He doesn't have any videos posted. There's mentions, not sure what that one is, and then there's hands, but that's in beta. So,
oh God,
check back everybody to see where their hands land. Yeah,
Jesus,
yikes. Awesome, very good. All right, well, that's Mercy. You want to go through the questions?
Yeah,
let's do it.
What's first? Could Nando defeat?
Could me and Joey beat it? Absolutely.
New question. Wait, can you look up our pal Joey's feet?
Oh, of course.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I just closed it, but yeah, Wiki feet. I bet if I do, man, Lat LeBlanc, and he's definitely shown foot. I feel like
he's shown foot on Joey.
So much friends.
Yeah, exactly. He seems like a character that has bare feet all the time. 4.8 stars, 199 ratings. Not quite as many. But he does wear like flip flops and stuff in like episodes show. It looks like so. A lot of them seem to be from there. Although, there's one from Joey in a hot tub relaxing. I remember this shot very, very well. I noticed this hot tub and can tell that's a Gerald. I'll share you the the pictures so you're like,
right?
Yeah, of course. I can instantly tell a Joey thing. Pretty cool.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that is definitely Joey.
Nice. All right.
Michael, what's his name's action figures were in that tub in one of the episodes. Remember that?
It was Joey's action figures.
It was Joey's. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if it was his or Michael's. Yeah, what a good show. So could me and Joey beat it? You'd think so, right? But the system's bad.
Are you as good as a detective as Chris Raven?
I don't think I could. It's weird because the Mercy program in this situation kind of tells him this. It's like you have to solve the murder, and then, but like that's not what you have to do in court. You just have to prove you didn't do it, or like get reasonable doubt. I think I could do that if I were him, but I don't know how I would because I'm clearly so guilty of abusing my wife and family in other situations. yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could get out of this if I were in his situation.
Also, like, it's crazy how deep into the other theory they get before his guilt drops at all.
Yeah, right.
Like, they have to get to Rob is out there driving a truck with a bomb before the AI is like, okay, actually, you're probably not guilty.
You're good. Yeah, you won't die today.
Yeah, even when he says, like, even when they figure out, like, he lied about being at work, or, like, he didn't drive the car home, that should be more than enough to unconvict Chris. And then
it should be enough
maybe
to a plausible second suspect should at least drop it below 90. Right?
He even brings that up a couple times where he's like, is that not enough to get me out? It's a little earlier. It's like, am I not good? And they're like, that's just a motive. You don't have a means for this person to have killed her. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like, clearly you think there might be other people a little bit, right? That's usually all it takes. But yeah, it's very, so it's tough. I don't know how I could beat Mercy if I'd have to solve the murder. And I think it's so implausible that my sponsor is the murderer and he got to be I also don't think they just let you be someone's sponsor. I feel like you probably have to be in the program for a little bit to get that responsibility.
He does kind of imply that, like, he was in an AA program and saw Chris Raven walk in, and he was like, I knew who you were. So like, it seems like he really, so incidentally to everything else, he is an alcoholic who needed help.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think I could get out of this unless you could, like, befriend the AI, which he kind of tries to do during it, like makes the AI like him a little bit. But like, and I think the thing you could do with the AI is like convince it. I think I could trolley problem the AI, or like be like, hey AI, I know you don't think you're killing me, but like you are though, right? You have the option to not kill me. So ipso facto, and then maybe that would just make it release me because it's clearly bad.
The classic, Asimov's rules include the stipulation or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but that would suggest that the Mercy machine is like a logical computer that would be able to see that, and it doesn't seem like it is. No. I mean, I'd enjoy talking to Rebecca Ferguson for an hour and a half before I get electrocuted. That would be kind of fun, Yeah. I'd ask her about her, what was like Greatest Showman like? Chris, did you guys do any fun, you and Hugh do any fun gags on set? But so yeah, probably not. Could Joey beat it?
No. There's no way.
I mean, there's
unless
no way he could
charm
solve
Rebecca
a murder.
Ferguson.
Yeah, the question is like, would the funny sitcom way this ends be that Joey manages to bumble his way into a successful defense,
right?
Or that he like someone else proves his innocence and everyone's like, oh, we did it, and then he like comically falls backwards into the chair as the 90 minutes show like end, and he gets electrocuted anyway.
I think I could see the version of that being Joey would see. My way that I think Joey could get out of this is by being so dumb that his logic breaks Mercy's internal logic because it confuses it so much that it like starts shorting out, and then just he's able to be freed for that reason.
That
but
does
also
seem to be possible.
Yeah, and Mercy does do that. But if that happened, Mercy would just like turn off, and then you just sit in the room for an hour until the chair electrocutes you there's nobody else around. Nobody's watching you. So like there's
there's nobody there when it ends to like come into the room and be like, oh, that was crazy.
We let people watch executions now. There's no way there wouldn't be some people in that room. Like, but I don't know. So yeah, I think Joey could beat the computer in a way that honestly, I feel like other shows like The Big Bang Theory, or like shows that play with more like sitcoms that play with more sci-fi elements have probably done, where like the dumb guy could beat the computer. But yeah, that would be my guess. Because Joey's he's an actor, but he's not a good actor. So I don't think he could trick the computer, which would be my other way. Maybe Joey's going to get out of this is like do an impression of someone, and the computer will be like, wait a second, you're Abraham Lincoln. But I don't think he could pull it off. So,
or maybe it would be like the murder was like kind of clever, and spending 90 minutes with Joey, the AI realizes that he's too dumb to have done that.
The machine would just keep having to be like, no, focus. We're doing this, right? We're just checking the email. And Joey would be like, yeah, I know, but can we just pull up? Like, I want to check with the ESPN, what's going on with the Broncos right now. I'm really curious. Got a little bit of money riding on this game. The other thing that the AI could maybe do, or like that, I could see happening in a version of this with Joey is that, because this is, Chris Raven isn't really a Joey type. If anything, he is a Ross type or a Jimmy type, right? He flies off the handle. So like he would look really guilty on camera. Joey wouldn't really look that guilty on camera. So I don't think he would get to this part of the thing. Like you would have to have, you know what you would have though? You would have Joey on camera, like on a Ring camera, reading a script that would be like, I'm going to kill you, Gina. You've made me so angry. But you would figure out that it's so badly acted and so wooden that you'd be like, no, that's him. That's sitcom Joey. He actually doesn't sound like that in real life. So yeah, it's a shame they didn't do it.
Or he uses his Irish accent during it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's not how he talks.
Or the Irish accent would be like, wait a second, that sounds a lot like that priest. And he'd be like, yeah, the Mercy Machine thinks that too for some reason. Joey and the Mercy Machine are the only two that are convinced by that. And then the priest would get executed.
Well, the AI is programmed by cops, so it is racist.
That's a good point. Has Joey ever been arrested on the show?
That's a good question.
I don't think so. Not that I recall.
He didn't even get like anything for what was clearly an arson in his house before he moved in. Like they didn't even suspect him of doing that. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe the cops just like Joey. He's in like movies where he's like an action hero. So maybe that would be enough to get him out of trouble. Or maybe you could show the AI video from Days of Our Lives of Dr. Draco Moray falling down an elevator shaft and be like, I'm already dead. You can't kill me. See, here's video of me dying. And then you'd be like, oh, I don't understand what TV is. And then it would let you go.
That's good.
Double
Pretty
jeopardy.
sneaky, sis.
That's how you got to do it. And then the other question, is it woke?
No.
Not even a little.
There's no way.
It is. Even when you get past the fact that Amazon made this movie and Ring cameras are used as evidence by the cops in a way that is cool and good, like... Just
and the surveillance state is just totally fine and normal and no one questions it. It's literally the thing from the end of Dark Knight that's so unethical and evil that Morgan Freeman's gonna walk away.
Yep.
And the other thing about this movie that's really anti-woke that I keep forgetting is that she's the wife, the bitch wife Tilly Norwood is not really, but like she's cheating on him with a black man. And then later, the person who's actually guilty of this whole thing is the only other black character in the movie. Or you know, dark-skinned characters, his cop friend. Like she did it all.
Oh, yes.
Like, she was trying to frame our good boy with his feet, Chris. So like, it's definitely... Well,
she wasn't trying to frame Chris. She was trying to frame...
Right. That's true. She was trying to frame...
brother.
Yeah.
But then when Chris is in the chair, he had to die. That's just too bad. This must work. He's got to see 19 killings, so it'll stop crime or whatever.
Yeah, the most unbelievable line in the movie is when a cop says, like, if a cop has to be, tried to show that we're not above the law, then that's what has to happen. And I'm like, no cop would ever say that.
Yeah, not in a million years. Now that I think about it, every time a white person gets brought up on one of these things, they are eventually proven innocent or something. Like, not just Chris Pratt, but then the first guy who got mercied, and then kind of his brother is shown to be
big murders.
He did a bunch of murders and stuff, but they were all for the right reason because he was trying to help his brother who died mercied and wanted to prove his innocence. So yeah, it's one of those movies where like even if they didn't do it intentionally, they kind of did. And it's, you know what else is super anti-woke about it? And we kind of talked about this, but like this movie is another movie that just goes right into like LA homelessness and crime has destroyed the cities. Like, there's no reason for this movie to be set in LA necessarily, except for that the people that made the movie are like, I've heard some pretty bad things about LA. I heard there's riots there the other day on Fox News or CBS. 60 Minutes had a great piece, and they just bought that. So yeah, very, very, very anti-woke. Perhaps the least woke movie we've done in a very long time.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna take a Loquisha or something to break the wokeness barrier that this is set up.
Next week, Lady Ballers.
One of these days.
Oh
my God, I can't wait. Yeah. Lady Ballers, though, accidentally does a trans acceptance story, so I think we might have trouble with that one. I've never watched it, but I've watched a lot of videos about it. Yeah, that's Mercy. I mean, we don't do this anymore, but like now that it's early in the year, worst movie of the year we've done so far, probably. Where does this rank beyond Bone Temple?
Yeah, worse than Bone Temple, I'm willing to say.
Worse than Bone Temple? All right. I think this is going to hold on for a while. It's going to take, I can't even think about the schedule of a movie that looks worse than this.
Well, there is Snow White 2.
Oh my God, the fucking Daily Wire one?
Oh my God, I actually was
that
making
is
a
gonna
joke,
come out
but you're
eventually.
right, that is coming out.
Oh my God.
Well, theoretically.
Yeah.
Didn't they go bankrupt?
So they did, but then they're also making, I'm almost positive they're making a, an adaptation of some swords and sorcery, fantasy book series. And I think I saw a trailer for that kind of recently.
They had ads in New York for, some Merlin show or King Arthur show.
King Killer Chronicles or something like that.
It's Pendragon.
No.
The Pendragon.
I would be shocked if Patrick Rothfuss gave them the King Killer Chronicles.
Yeah. No, that would be.
I might sign up for Daily
awesome.
Wire Plus if that was the case.
But yeah, the Snow White and the Evil Queen starring Brett Cooper. It doesn't seem like it's out yet. It still has a 2025 release date. I don't love that. But as of now, the IMDb only has one actor. Well, no, okay. So, according to Daily Wire Plus, oh no, never mind. Sorry, Daily Wire Plus has an article called "Disney Snow White nominated for 6 Razzies, including Worst of 2026." Sure, but it doesn't say anything about.
Deserved.
Oh yeah, Rise of Merlin is now streaming on Daily Wire Plus.
Oh, maybe we could do that next week.
Maybe we could. I can't wait. So yeah, and speaking of stuff, maybe Daily Wire Plus stuff. Do you guys want to get to our classic segment?
Would love to.
I would love that.
Do you have anything to recommend to the fine people? DJ, we'll start with you.
I do. This is not it's not as bad as Bread.
We'll be the judge of that. We'll be the judge, jury, and executioner of that.
Oh no. Yeah.
It's a local rec, but I feel like Diggins has done this before. Maybe knows this before.
I've wrecked Broadway shows.
Well, I'd like to recommend a Broadway show.
Which one?
Actually, wait, this might be a repeat of Diggins. Diggins, did you ever recommend maybe Happy Ending?
Yeah.
He did.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that was forever ago. So now I get to recommend maybe Happy Ending.
Yeah, it was 9 months ago.
Cast, or is it a new cast? Because then maybe you're recommending.
Still the original cast. Yeah.
Wow, really? Still Darren Criss and Helen Shen?
It's been a while.
Yeah. I worry that once they're not doing it anymore, well, I don't know. Are they holding it together? If they decide not to do it anymore, then the show folds.
I feel like the show has legs outside of them.
It's been on for long enough that I feel like it's probably looking okay. It also seems pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, Best Tony musical. So, as a refresher, since Diggins recommended this forever ago, it is a story of 2 decommissioned helper bots who live next to each other across the hall at this little apartment complex for decommissioned helper robots, which is very nice of the population of South Korea to do that for, and not just throwing them in the garbage. So that's cool.
Yeah,
it's basically a retirement home. It has the same kind of air of quiet desperation.
Yeah, but what I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, but one is just a homebody and is a little bit delusional, and the other is a fiery explorer type, and they have a fun little adventure, and it's great. And there's a story in there. One of my favorite parts is the staging is very interesting, where everything is framed in these little rectangles of this moving. I can't even describe this. It's moving screens that open up to frame a scene. So it's his room, and then we'll move to her room, and maybe we'll do the whole thing, and then we'll do another location, or now we're in a car, and it's really brilliant. And then what is very smart about it is when they do open up to you see the entire stage, it feels so open because your eyes are used to fixating on a narrow point of view for most of the show. So when they open it up, it's like it really does feel open. Really smart. Whoever thought of that should, get a raise or whatever.
Broadway is like very heavy on screen work these days, and I think this is some of the most creative use of screens that like in any production I've seen.
Yeah. This was cool. And then I saw Sunset Boulevard last summer, and that one they famously go outside with like a recorder or with a camera at the up of the second act, so you can see them outside in the streets.
Oh, really?
Very interesting.
That is wild.
Yeah, that show was fine. This show's great. I love this show. It's a tight 90, basically.
I mean, the Broadway version of that, which is like it's like 2 hours.
No, it's 100 minutes. It really is.
Wow.
It's the length of this movie. No, it's one act.
Oh wow.
Yeah. There's
you can get away with that if it's one act. That's crazy.
Yeah. But it's great. It's definitely like you feel like the lightness of the production. There's only 4 people in the cast. There's like 7 or 8 members of the orchestra. Which again, I don't want to spoil too much because if you ever go see it, but I like Prey because it's such like. I mean, the staging part of it's like very important, so that's probably hard to replicate. But like, I feel like this would be a show that would be great like on tour. It didn't even start on Broadway. It started in Seoul and then was in Atlanta before it went to Broadway, which I'm like, that's interesting.
Well, it's like this is like an adaptation of the South Korean show. They're not technically like the same thing.
Yeah, I guess it's
like
true.
It's not just they didn't just like translate it and
they didn't rip it out.
They did change things.
Yeah,
I feel like you do see that with shows a lot of the time where like they'll go to like Chicago or like even like Jersey they'll play for a little bit.
That's usually how it works. Things have a run somewhere else to see how they work before they come to Broadway.
MJ is in a lot of places and is still on Broadway. I'm pretty sure Back to the Future the musical is on like a cruise ship. Pretty sure
that feels like it should be on a cruise ship if it's not.
Belongs, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a cruise ship status, but it is like it should tour because it's a lot of people should get to see this. So anyway, maybe happy ending.
Wow,
fantastic show. So if you're ever in the it's like I gotta go see a show, it's like go see this one. It's great too because like it's one of them. If you really want, because I know people do this, they'll like come to the city and they'll see like a matinee and then an evening show. This is a great one to see for a matinee, and like you wouldn't get burned out if you wanted to do like a one matinee, like one evening. If you had tight time in New York and wanted to see a bunch of shows, I know people do that. So it's great. I loved it so much. So that's my rec. Diggins, what about you?
Real quick, I wanted to because I was googling this real quick. So 2 things. One, they just did their 500th performance of this show on Broadway.
Wow.
So I saw like 495 or something. Cool.
And then second, the stars are leaving soon. Helen J. Shen is leaving in February, and then I imagine Darren Criss like a little after that, based on this video. Darren Criss May, so he'll be in it for a while, but I don't know if they've like cast her replacement. But if you want to see her, you got a month, almost a little bit less than a month.
I should mention the show has a crooner, and it's great. It's great when you can see a show with a crooner. So that's cool for all you crooner fans out there.
No driving crooner though, right? Just like a stage
crooner
stationary.
No, unfortunately, he doesn't drive in the show. Yeah,
can't make money off that. That makes sense. That sucks, but it's just how it goes.
Diggins, what do you have to recommend to the fine folks?
I went to see a screening of a movie at the Museum of the Moving Image. It was a Chinese movie that came out last year by the filmmaker. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, but I believe it's Be Gone.
Okay.
Movie's called Resurrection.
Oh, I've heard of this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's like the story is. So the setup at the beginning is it's like a future where people have realized if you don't dream, you live forever. So like most people have stopped dreaming. But there are some people who still want to dream. And so like we follow someone who is like a special person who can go into dreams and like arrest these people essentially. So it starts with like one of those people finding one of these dreamers. They're given a name. I forget what it is. But then like she's kind of like feels bad for him, so like she's still gonna execute him, but she lets him like go through a whole sequence of dreams like as he's dying. And that sequence of dreams ends up being like various vignettes, like set in different periods of China's history in like the last 100 years. And each of the vignettes use like techniques and conventions of like film from the period it's set in. So like the very beginning of the movie is all silent movie kind of stuff, like beginning of film. And then like the first vignette, which is this kind of like crime story sort of thing, is all like 40s noir kind of influenced, but like, you know, in terms of like Chinese filmmaking mainly, not as much the American influences. So it just ends up being kind of like a movie of these vignettes of like he sort of just like has these various dreams of being different people through Chinese history. Like he has one where he thinks he's this guy in like in an abandoned Buddhist temple who like befriends a dog. There's one, like I said, that's like a crime where he's like a hitman who finds a young girl whose parents have died, but she thinks that they're just like, there's like a puzzle they left behind, and she thinks if she solves that she can find them, so he's kind of trying to like help her with that and also figure out what really happened. There's one where he's a young man who like, that's all done in like a oneer, you know, like that used to be very popular, of like that he meets this girl and they like have this night together, but she's a vampire and he has to like fight her vampire club owner boss to like try to free her. It's just all these like really weird kind of like trippy segments that's like very, very like artifice forward, where it's like I said, it's deliberately using different filmmaking techniques to indicate like different eras of history. It's really cool and like really interesting. Very much something where you kind of have to just like let it happen in front of you, like I said, like a kind of vibes based sort of movie. But I really enjoyed it and I was glad I got to see it. So it's not like playing regularly, so you know you'd have to like check for repertory screenings, but if you can, and I think it'll probably be streaming somewhere at some point.
Yeah,
it might be like you could rent it now, I don't know. But it's Resurrection by B Gong.
Nice.
Is the movie. What about you, Nando? Anything to rec?
So I have two things. I think last week, did I recommend the movie Dust Bunny? I can't remember.
I think you did, yeah. I
did. Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember I watched it a little while ago. So then I have one thing. It's a show. A show I was kind of looking forward to for a while because I remember seeing the pitch for it and going like, that sounds fun. And all of the stars that are in it, not like all of them, but the ones that they advertised, I was like, oh, they're fun. And especially one of them, I'm like, oh, she gets a win because like it's been tough for her. But then it also has another star in it that I'm like, oh, good, she's in a big show. But this show is called Ponies. Have you guys heard of Ponies?
I've been seeing all the ads because I'm watching Traders.
Yeah,
it's a Peacock show, so I see all the ads.
So Ponies is a series on Peacock, as with Traders. I wouldn't say it's a comedy, although it definitely isn't serious. Like it takes itself seriously, but it's so it's like a little silly. But it's about two women who are wives in the beginning of the story. And it's I know, not wives of each other, wives of different men. But those men both die in the beginning of the story. So the story is Emilia Clarke, she's the one that I'm like, hope she gets a win. And Haley Richardson are both like in the 60s. They're wives, or 70s. They're wives of what are clearly, although they have different job titles in this, American spies in Russia, working for the CIA. So they live in Russia. One of them hates it, one of them likes it. And then in the middle of a random kind of, whatever, like incident, we don't really see it immediately. Their husbands are killed. So then they're like, aw, and then they go home. But then Emilia Clarke discovers like a clue or something. And she's like, I want to figure out what's the deal with this is. So they talk to the man in charge of this program, who is a different actor I'm not super familiar with, but I bet he's in some stuff. And he more or less convinces his boss, who is George Bush, to let them go and be spies because they're like, because person of interest is POIs, but they're ponies, person no interest, because they're women, so no one will expect them to be a spy. One of them is very adept, like one very clever. That's the Amelia Clark one. She can speak Russian. She's very useful. The other one, Haley Lou Richardson, she's more street smart, but kind of a dummy. And it's just them, doing mystery solving and stuff in Russia. So it's it feels a little bit like that. It feels actually a lot like that movie Tetris, where it's got an air of like seriousness to it, but it also is kind of inherently silly. So it's not, I would say, no fun to watch. It's a fun watch. The other thing about it that's interesting is the fifth lead, according to IMDb, and I get this because of how it's structured, is another secretary wife who works with them, and they have to work for her as their cover when they're in the CIA, played by Vic Michaelis from Dropout. And they're really good in it. I thought they were, I was like, nice. Wow, that's a big, like in the beginning when I saw that they were in the show, like, a year ago or whatever, when they talked about it, I was like, oh, good for them. Like, hopefully it's, they get a little bit of screen time, but they're like a pretty significant character. And so that was what got it on my radar. But overall, I think it's a pretty entertaining show. And yeah, it's pretty good. Besides that, I haven't really watched any movies except I've been rewatching the scary movies. Just kind of for fun. They hold up so like all over the place. Some of the jokes are great, and then some of them are incredibly racist and homophobic and stuff. And racist, I guess, is tough because like they're written, at least some of them, written and directed by Black, like the Keenan Ivory Wayans and the Wayans family. So like that, I'm like, all right, whatever. But with the homophobia, it's just like, man, you guys really just don't like this guy. It's pretty funny. And then there's another thing that comes up a lot in the first one. That's like them making fun of a specific person. But overall, I'm surprised at some of the bits of those movies that work, from especially 1 and 2 before they became kind of the stupid pop culture reference ones. Even though the first ones had some of that going on too. But, okay, cool. So I can't recommend that necessarily, but I did watch it, and I didn't hate it. So that's my rec. Is the Ponies show on Peacock? Nice.
We have to give this
still
a shot.
Figure out what we're doing next week. We'll see.
Not Shelter, right? We need another week.
I think so.
We can't hack it.
What's the next release? Do we want to do Melania? The documentary about Melania Trump?
That comes out the same weekend as Shelter, and I feel like we have to do Shelter. Jason Statham releases a winter release. I know.
It's by the Greenland guys. Yeah. It's just hard for me to not want to do Melania a little bit.
We do both.
So perhaps
not in 1 week, but like Melania, then Shelter.
Yeah.
Shelter will go to VOD in 3 weeks. So
I think Melania, then Shelter. Well, Melania will go to VOD almost immediately because it's also an Amazon production. Oh, Amazon! Yeah. What a January for Amazon. So I think that makes me feel like maybe we'll wait on that one. But right. I saw maybe humongous. Maybe a debt. Have you been in the I mean, you must have, because you saw maybe Happy Ending. Do you drive into the city, or do you like take public transit?
I take public transit. Yeah, train. Okay. So yeah.
I try to, but sometimes it's easier to drive into the city and then like park on the street because it's free parking on Sunday or whatever. An enormous billboard right outside the Lincoln Tunnel for Melania.
Jesus Christ!
Like, wow. Yeah, they're really going for it. That $40 million is not being completely wasted, and I'm very happy about that. All right, so the last thing, plugs. DJ, got anything to plug for the fine people?
No new Roses and Rejections. I'm sure we'll be at it at some point. I really want to talk traders. I'm mad.
You're not going to do another solo one?
I can't. It's not listenable. Well, Michelle and I will do one soon. I'm so mad that they're mean to Ron Funches. It's not fair. They're just mad at him. Yeah, they're mad at him because he got one of the housewives booted night one because she basically said, yeah, I'm a traitor, like by accident, but she wasn't. She was just a dummy because I guess she's a housewife. So anyway, some too mean to Ron Funches, but I'm still watching. But yeah, so soon in that space. Diggins, what about you?
Nope. What about you, Nando?
I've had videos that have come out. I'm making another one actually that'll probably be out today or tomorrow. That's about the new Batman writer, because there's a little bit of like controversy, but just stuff about like they've had some rumors that like certain people are going to be in some movies. So I've been doing videos on those. Those are fun. And those are all on the Nando Cut, so you can see them there. Besides that, just following me on those is how you would find things that I make. We'll see what we're doing next week. We don't know.
We'll see.
But until then, I've been at Nando Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day on all the socials.
I'm at C Diggins exclusively on Bluesky.
Awesome.
All right. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
See ya.